Crafty won right now at 9-2. That's 5-1 coming out of post number 7 is Clifty Falls. Northline is 11-1 out of post number 8. The favorite at the moment is Enterprising. Enterprising, trained by Wayne Lucas, will be ridden by Jerry Bailey, Robert and Beverly Lewis, the owners. He has been out one time and has one win. Out of post number 10 is Caproli, who is at 8-1, and Scratch the 11, Red Ferrari. So we will have a field coming up of 9 for the first race today. That's the Reva Ridge. It is an allowance race at 6 furlongs. Now let's take a look at the Derby odds. And Jack Flash and Shammy Davis, the only entry in this year's field. Nick Zito trains both of them. They're at 11-1 right now. Bet down a lot. They opened up at 30-1 in the morning line. Crypto Star is at 7-2, the winner of the Arkansas and the Louisiana Derbies. Phantom on Tour at 17-1, owned by Lynn Whiting, who won here in 92 with Lily T, also owned by Cal Partee. That tandem was in the winner's circle here just 5 years ago. Concerto, can he keep that winning streak going? He's won, among others, the Battaglia, the Beam, and the Tessio. He's at 9-1. Captain Bodgett coming in at 9-2. Captain Bodgett coming off the win in the Wood. He did defeat Pulpit in the Florida Derby. Silver Charm is at 7-2. Looking at the rest of the field, Celtic Warrior is at 20-1. Pulpit at 8-1 right now. Pulpit opened up 2-1 in the morning line. He's up to 8-1. Hello at 11-1. Deeds Not Words, the 50-1 shot made by Mike Battaglia, the track handicapper here in the morning line. He said he'd never done that with any D. Wayne Lucas horse. He has now been bet down to 20-1. Crimson Classic is at 60-1. And Freehouse, the winner of the Santa Anita Derby, is at 12-1. Those are the current Derby odds. Maybe one of the biggest surprises there is at Pulpit.
And I had to change her outfit. She had red gloves, and I had a red coat on, so we traded gloves. And I gave her my black gloves, and we were freezing.
When was this?
This was in 1989.
Oh, in 89, I remember the snow.
Yeah,
Remember the snow?
That's right. It was amazing. And so since then, apparently, Fred says people have been coming out a little later. You want to wait and check on the weather. And Jay Cardosi's been telling us that it's going to be a little cool today and breezy. We already know that.
Yes,
sort of
we
a
do.
blustery day. So be sure that you dress the part.
Okay, time to check in with another crew, right?
Yes, Rob Fauché has been wandering around out there. He was looking for a job a little earlier. Did a pretty good job selling his programs. Let's check in with Rob now.
Storm and sun and weather-related names today.
Well, let's see. We've been on the air almost 30 minutes now. So I guess it's time to go to Terry Miners, who is out in the infield. And, okay, batten down the hatches. Here's Terry.
I've been out here for 12 years in the infield. I've ruined all my best clothes. That's the end of that. From now on, I'm wearing my Caddyshack coveralls. We'll just see how filthy these get through the course of the day. Some people take precautions before they come out in the elements like this young lady right here. Hi, how are you?
Fine,
What's your name?
Christy Stucker.
Christy, what happened to your leg?
I was playing volleyball.
She tripped on the way in, dude.
You tripped on the way in?
It's an infield hat.
This could be Christy Downs then, I guess. And so you're all plasticed up just in case it rains on your
Or
cast
in case
today.
I get thrown in mud.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we'll be ready. We don't want you to get thrown in mud.
Yeah, right.
And we're glad you're supporting animal rights. I see you're surrounded by animals. Good plan. One other guy we have I want to visit. I always like to visit with somebody who's catching a couple of winks early on in the Derby. Right here on the third turn. Let's see who's on this morning. Hey, Doc. How are you, dude?
Oh, very good.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Doc, sound asleep. I'm Terry Miners. Good to meet you.
Yeah, what do you say?
Hey, dude. How are you?
Oh, very good.
Look at your tattoo.
Go ahead, man.
Here, show it to the camera.
There you go.
What's your tattoo mean?
That means alone in Chinese.
You're alone?
Yeah.
Well, your tattoo is spelling itself out properly. You're alone in your tent, too,
Yep.
dude. Hey, you smell like a campfire. Where were you all night?
Oh, man, driving all the way from Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, good deal. I think your coat's on fire. Put it out. Roll over. Stop, drop, and roll. I'm Terry Miners for Derby 123.
He will interrupt anybody out there, and no one is safe in the infield as long as Terry is out there.
Especially those who are sleeping. I think he relishes waking them up.
Well, we're about 30 minutes away from post time for the first race on Derby Day. We'll be back with more of Derby 123 right away. Stay with us, 11 o'clock.
better seat for the turf races.
Steve, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. You're a gentleman, and best of luck today. You got a great job. A lot of fun here. I guess my nickname around the station will now be Bugle Boy. Back to you guys.
Another
He
name.
wears Bugle Boy clothes all the time. That's as close as he gets.
He did a great job on that.
He did. I'll have to admit, we were sitting here, and I thought he
thought he dubbed it in.
I thought he dubbed the sound back in.
He did a good
Because we
job.
can do that here. We have the trick of editing.
That's right. Well, he is teasing and looking for jobs out here today. That may be just the job for him.
It might be. Now, you play trumpet, right?
Well, I did for 8 years, but that was many years ago.
Do you, think,
Actually,
you realize that guy never messes up. I've never heard him mess up.
No.
In such a high-pressure job.
No, and Rob did pretty well, too. Maybe you just can't mess up that easy little thing. It may be really, really easy. I don't know.
On the paddock where they're saddled up, joined by the jockeys, and then just about 10:55, you'll hear the trumpeter's sound, the bugler's sound, and the horses will be called to the track. And the first race of the day, the Reva Ridge, will be underway. Reva Ridge, named after the horse that won the Kentucky Derby back in 1972. Reva Ridge was the stable mate of the great Secretariat. They both wore the same colors, if you might remember. Of course, you were.
No,
were you
I don't
born by that
remember.
time? No.
I do not remember. And that will take place about 11:30 today. Just a reminder, we will be here all day long for coverage of Derby 123. That includes all of the races on the race card today, and we'll run up through even a post-Derby program with Louisville.
Speed favoring, and he just overcomes, you know.
So now Captain Bodgett comes to Churchill Downs as arguably the horse to beat in the run for the Roses. Trainer Gary Capuano is living the Derby dream at just 33 years old.
You never know when you're going to get your hands on one, and when you do, it's to get to this point, and real lucky and fortunate that everything's going pretty much our way.
I've been an Alabama boy, but this is my third Derby now, and I'm getting some pretty good tips from Coach Crum, so we'll just see how it goes the rest of the day.
And you don't yet have your Derby pick?
No, I don't have a Derby pick yet.
How about you, Coach Crum?
I like Captain Bodgett a lot, and I like George Steinbrenner's Concerto a lot, and Freehouse. Those are my top three at this point.
Is it fun for you to be up and around all your people? I'm sure you've got a lot of fans coming up to you.
Oh yeah, a lot of friends up here too. It's always nice to be somewhere where you can see people that you enjoy, especially when everybody's having fun doing the things they're doing, and this is a fun place to be.
Okay, Coach Cooper, you looking forward to next season?
No doubt, we're excited about it. We had a great spring practice, so we're looking forward to August.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. It was nice to talk to both of you for Derby 123. I'm Jane McClue.
All right. Thank you
very
very
much.
much, Jane. As you can see, we've brought out the umbrella. Although with this wind, I don't know how much good this umbrella is going to do or how long it's going to last. It's worse than a hat.
You've heard of scattered showers. This is one of those scattered showers. But by the time we come back from this commercial break, it'll be all over, folks. We'll see you in a moment.
The glass is half full.
Derby 123, dawn at the Downs. The countdown begins on WHAS 11.
Track this morning.
I'm Ann Doyle in the paddock.
On the first turn. How's the ride this morning?
Got some incredible
We've got you covered from every angle.
Gonna watch the weather. Smooth sailing for the folks.
Sky 11 with rock steady power cam.
Beautiful pictures with our power cam.
Run for the Roses.
It's home stretch time. Take a front row seat. The run for the Roses is just hours away on Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11. We're off and running.
You've had flavor.
I get it. Are those going? Are they kind of popular?
More popular than the top hats right now.
Oh, really? These are like passe, kind of like these are last year's hats, right?
Pretty much, yeah. The style, these are going down more. Now it's more the jesters.
Oh, okay. Oh, you got the orange. And
Yeah.
what about, we don't want to even show the glasses. We don't want to see the glasses. Don't worry about the glasses.
These glasses here, though.
Oh,
we
yeah.
got these.
What are these, like half yards?
Yeah, half yards. Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people buying those too?
They're pretty popular now.
I saw lots of them on the infield yesterday.
Yeah, they're getting almost $10 for them in there.
How much are they out here?
They're $5.
Oh, it's a bargain. Another bargain. I'm so good at finding bargains out here. Is this your first year out on work in Central Avenue?
First year here, yeah.
What do you think?
It's not bad, except for the rain. Yeah, I grew up around horse racing, my parents and my uncles and all.
Really?
It's pretty cool to be here.
What do you think about some of the outfits that you see parading up and down Central Avenue
Some
today?
of these ladies look really nice out here. Yeah.
Good deal. We heard a lady at the Steak on a Stick place earlier say some of the outfits were weird, but you think most people look nice?
Yeah, I like the hats. A lot of ladies look good in the hats.
All right, good deal, Kevin. Thanks
All
for
right,
talking with us.
thank
Good
you.
luck to you today. All right, we hope the rain stays away so that Kevin can sell his jester hats and those, Dr. Seuss things too that I don't like so much. So that's it for now. We'll check back later, guys.
Okay.
Thank you very much,
That'd
Kelly.
be a hat to have, wouldn't it? Keep you warm.
Everybody
Just pull it
wears
all
those
the way
cat in the
down.
hat hats now.
Biggs hat. My Biggs is my 5-year-old. He has one. Thinks it's very cool.
It's popular after those Heaven's Gates guys started wearing it.
I guess that was it.
Unfortunately, yeah. A windy day. Kevin Raymer will be in with the weather when we come back.
Target 32 forces local government to make major changes for you. First, Target 32 investigators Steve Bergen and Kelly Haynes uncover a city paint project wasting your tax money. The city responds. We recommend permanent suspension of the program and cancellation of the contracts. Then, a breach in confidential record keeping at the Jefferson County Youth Center. The county responds. Since your investigation, we now have a system that ensures confidentiality. Watching your tax money, holding government accountable. Target 32 investigative reports. That's 32 for you.
Wow, when we expanded Louisville's recycling program last year and asked you to up the volume of recyclables, your response was terrific. Citywide participation up 33%. Volume was up 44%. That's more than 8 million pounds of recyclables. Thanks to WLKY for getting the word out, and thanks to you for doing your part.
The City of Louisville, the 32 for You help force, and people like you working together. That's
32 for you.
It's morning in Kentuckiana. A lot has happened since last night. Will those things affect you today? Find out from Kentuckiana's liveliest morning news team. Make the switch to 32 for You this morning. Shannon Horry and Joe Orlando keep things funny, upbeat, and informative. Meteorologist Lainey Pope has your Super Doppler 32 weather forecast, plus traffic reports, live interviews, and other fun surprises. Make yours a beautiful morning. That's 32 for You this morning and every morning.
Montel gives you more amazing events caught on tape.
This is some of the most dramatic tape we've ever shot.
Life or death decisions.
This guy was hanging on for dear life.
Impulsive actions.
And at this point, I wouldn't let go.
And crazy stuff.
Had no respect for human life whatsoever.
Incredible.
Here, and
Certainly is.
we've got a rotation in the meteorology department.
Yes, like look what the
Kevin's
wind blew
now.
in right here.
Yeah.
Well,
How do you like this stuff?
Jay had to go place a bet.
Yeah.
I've already been to the window, so now I'm ready to work.
You got to the window.
And it's by City Dancer, horse we used to run, and I nominated this horse to a lot of races in Maryland, and Captain Bodgett kept showing up, and I would look at his past performances, and my immediate reaction was this horse is light years ahead of our own horse, and that's how I first got interested in Captain Bodgett.
What is your feeling now? Your first Derby just a few races away.
Remarkably for me, I'm not nervous. Usually I start having a tingle under my tongue, I get tense, and I hold myself pretty well until after the race, after which I sweat buckets. And this horse, I've only had one or two horses like this where you have such confidence in him you don't get nervous. I am not nervous. I feel very good.
Barry, what would it mean for you to leave here with a Derby championship?
Well, it's just something that you never really even dream about because it's just so remote. And to be in this position and have a horse we just bought in February and have him go close to being the favorite in a race like this, it's just beyond comprehension.
Barry, thanks for your time. I know you want to get with your horse going in here.
Thanks a lot.
Good luck this afternoon. That is Barry Irwin with Team Valor, part of the ownership group for Captain Bodgett, the horse that could very well be the favorite when we go to the post at around 5:30. Gary, Melissa, back to you.
And Gary, that's what I always say. If my horse isn't good enough, I just go out and buy another one. Well, not really.
So many people around outside the Downs know Wagner's Pharmacy so well, how it's been connected to Churchill Downs for so many years. And this is the last year for it. The building's being taken by development and some new construction that's going to go in. And so a lot of people have been going there one last time before the old homestead away from home closes down. Our Barry Burnson is there today.
Wagner's Trackside. Yes, this is the Trackside Kitchen that's operated by the Wagner's Pharmacy people about a couple of blocks that way from Churchill Downs. But this is where you want to come if you want to not only get a great breakfast or a great lunch, but sort of hang out with the people who really work here. Go ahead, sir. You're ahead of us.
Thank you.
This is a place that is jumping like nowhere on Churchill Downs. Let me show you. These folks are lined up.
Yeah, but it's been too important. Just to see what we have.
Okay, well, let's see. All right, Donald here.
There you go, Donald.
Go to work.
See what we got, Dan. Wrinkle the corner a little bit there, so let's take a while. No good on that one. When you hear the beep, you lose.
Do a lot of people do this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, quite a few. Maybe not quite as many tickets, but they'll try them. And some of them, like you say, put them in the billfolds, and then they'll fade out, and you can't do any good then.
Oh, yeah, when they're faded out. Now, how long can you keep a ticket before trying to cash it in?
I believe normally it's a year, but they announced yesterday that you can cash anything from 1996.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Well, I'm sorry, Sonny, no luck so far. Just a few more to go through. Let's see. It's not looking good for you, Sonny. Hey, does this make you nervous?
Yeah, it's typical Derby.
What were you hoping to get out of this whole thing?
Really, who knows? You know, $3 or $4 and we'll bet again.
So you just made these bets and then you never watched to see if your
Never watched
horse...
to see if it come in. Never watched to see if it come in.
Why?
Doing other things.
Yeah, you're in charge of security here.
Yes, that was busy.
Very, very busy. Security is very important here. All right, let's see. Donald, how's it going?
So far, you got a shutout. Zero.
How many tickets does he have here? Sonny, how many tickets have you been holding on to here?
I think it was in the neighborhood of about 30.
30 tickets. All right, sorry, the guys. This is taking a lot longer than we thought. Let's see.
You better have better luck today. It's going to be a long day.
Okay, we're coming to the very last ticket. Let's see.
Last chance.
30 tickets. All right, Sonny, you can have the privilege of throwing these out in the garbage now, I think.
Reading this one wrong. Let me check this one.
Here you go. Throw them out in the garbage. There it is over here.
I sure hope I have better luck this year.
This year. Better luck. All right, thanks a lot. Thank you. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Shane. You know what that is? That's denial. I've done that. Whole pocket full of tickets.
At 11 on WHAS 11. Power Cam shows you the big story like no one else can. Sky 11 with Power Cam. Only on Kentuckiana's News Channel. WHAS 11. Crusade 44. Coming in June on WHAS 11.
It's a really simple rule. When it comes to communicating, the clearer, the better. Sprint PCS. Wireless service with 100% digital clarity and less background noise. The replacement for cellular is here.
For the wait in the ATM line, or is it for all day?
It's for the entire day, whenever it comes in handy.
Okay. What about you? You getting cash out now?
Yeah, I left from Milwaukee about 10 o'clock last night. We came down on a whim and never stopped to get cash.
Can't go to Derby without a lot of cash.
Yeah, we'll have some in a minute, hopefully.
So what are you thinking? 2, 3, 4, $500 ought to get you through the day?
Probably about 2 would get me through, I hope.
That'll just get you through the betting windows. Then what about the beer money?
Yeah, well, hopefully 2 will cover it.
Okay, good deal. You heard it. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think I might wait in line. That steak on a stick kind of wore off, and I'm getting kind of hungry again. So I might just get in line with these guys, get more food money. See you guys later.
Food money, some
Okay.
steak on a stick.
You know, I've done that before. Gone to the ATM line and looked at those guys. I've actually been in line a couple times, too, for some late cash in the day. And I love the guys that get up there and they're just pounding on it. I know there's money in that account, but they just can't find it.
They won't let it. I know. I never can remember my number. That's the problem. But
You
we'll
don't
be
go
back.
often enough.
That's it. We'll be back with more of Derby Day Live right after this.
Stories that reveal information the authorities don't have.
You'll see them first
on hard copy.
New facts that push major investigations forward.
You'll learn about them first
on hard copy.
Before it's all over the papers. Before it's all over TV.
Before it's news.
It's hard copy.
Always a headline ahead.
We are here at the Derby Museum. You can see The winner's circle there at Churchill Downs, you know, it's only used one time a year, and that is on Derby Day. That'll happen about 5:35 plus 2 minutes this afternoon when we'll find out who has won the 123rd Kentucky Derby.
Will it be the Now horse?
Yeah.
You know what the Now horse is?
Up and comer, right?
Well, it's the people start talking on the backside. One reporter talks to the other reporter, and then another reporter, and they all talk among themselves, and there's a lot of inbreeding back there. And suddenly,
Into your street, the 32 storm trackers, 4 full-time meteorologists, more than the competition. The people who really know today's high-tech weather technology, like Super Doppler 32. Severe weather strikes turn to Kentuckiana's weather leader. That's 32 for you. The big story.
Our big story today.
That's tonight's big story.
Our big story.
Nobody covers the big story better than 32 for you.
Heaven Hill Distilleries is on fire.
Reporters you can trust.
People in disarray and shock.
The information you need.
The big game is our big story.
The coverage you won't get from any other TV station.
Yes, there was an explosion.
You want the big story? We've got it for you. Every newscast, every day. Everything you need to know.
A serious situation at a Cardinal aluminum plant.
The big story. That's 32 for you.
Have to pull out.
Okay, here are people coming into the Downs. They're waiting in line to have all of their belongings checked before they can come in. And John, you said they really checked them closely. Some people actually tried to get them in some Girl Scout cookies earlier.
Today a whiskey bottle in the Girl Scout cookies. That's my favorite scene of the day. That's pretty low.
That is pretty low. Now, there are some pretty good tricks, though, that people...
And last year, of course, Bob Baffert won or lost just by about that much to Grindstone. He had Cavanier and for a time thought he had won the Kentucky Derby. So I've been saying this week that I think there's going to be a lot of sentimental betting for Bob Baffert and Silver Charm. And at this point, Silver Charm is the co-favorite. Is that still correct?
that's true. Tell me this now. Every time I've seen...
I'm in, you know.
Putting people to the test.
All right.
Okay.
And Thunder Gulch for that, right?
Ian, you are good. You spent a lot of time here,
If I can just pick the winner this year, that's the thing.
I know. Who will be it?
Let's go for Celtic Warrior.
Okay. Going out on a limb there.
Yeah, out on the limb. Okay,
Good luck. Let's see if we can go down here just a little bit further. These gentlemen right here. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I'm wondering if you know who won the Derby last year.
Who won the Derby last year? I can't remember.
I'm gonna give you a hint here. Keep
Cigar?
your nose to the.
Keep your nose to the what?
You know what? It's right behind you there.
Grindstone, there it is.
Keep your nose to the grindstone. Get it?
Grindstone, that's right.
Who's the trainer? I don't know. I'm the one asking the questions. All right, we'll ask somebody. One more. Sir,
How are you?
do you know who won the Derby last year?
Is it on the board somewhere up there? No, I don't. I wasn't here last year, unfortunately.
Keep your nose to the.
But I won't forget next year. I'll know who won the Derby next year for this year.
I'm trying to give you a hint here.
What?
Keep your nose to the.
Grindstone.
Yeah!
Way to go.
Right.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. Do we want to do the year before that?
Go ahead.
Give me another hint.
Oh, lightning and.
Thunder. Thunder Gulch.
Right. You are good.
Okay.
Enjoy
thanks a
your
lot.
day. I appreciate it. Some people know their horses, other people don't. We're going to keep on asking and see what we come upon. Back to you guys.
Okay, that was pretty good.
That
though.
was
At least
great.
the guy knew it's Thunder Gulch, you know? It's
Yeah.
like,
Yes, he
Grindstone.
did. After he got fed the whole line, pretty much.
He didn't get by a
No.
gulch, though. I don't know what you'd do for that.
Our Derby Day Live coverage will continue after this break. We'll be right back.
On March the 6th, 1997, a man left his home in the 3000 block of Rockford Lane off Dixie Highway to go to work. Sometime after that, an unknown subject defeated a security light on the front of the garage, forced open a garage window, and stole tools and air conditioner parts. The back door of the house was pried open, and a TV, VCR, stereo system with compact disc and a Kodiak bear knife were stolen. Police believe the subject was at the home for a long time. Kentucky...
Helicopter. News Chopper 32 is in the air and on the air faster. Plus, News Chopper 32 has Live Action Cam, a super high-tech camera that gives you the best shots of live breaking news. And News Chopper 32 can stay in the air longer, so you won't miss a second of the action, bringing you closer to the story, giving you a better view. News Chopper 32. That's 32 for you. Better watch.
45,000 to 51,000.
Better prizes.
Daily double.
Forrest Gump.
New categories. Complicated. Correct.
What is I want to rock?
Bernie Flint is your trainer. Shane Sellers up in the irons. Number 4, Salutations. Robert DeCensi is the trainer. Tony D'Amico is the rider. Number 6 is Crafty One. Kenny McPeak is your trainer. Mike Smith up in the irons today. Number 7, Clifty Falls. Forrest Kalin, who's training a Derby hopeful today, and Oliver Castillo is with him. Number 8 is Northline, owned and trained by Louis Roussel. Robbie Alvarado is your rider. Number 9, Enterprising. Here's the Dwayne Lucas, Jerry Bailey combination on Enterprising number 9. Number 10 is Capriole. Mark Hennig is your trainer. Alex Solis is the rider. Let's go over to the odds board and see what the betting public thinks about this first race, the Reva Ridge. The number 1 horse, Say What, is at 25 to 1. Number 2, Dr. John at 20 to 1. Number 3, Ice Tizzy. Ice Tizzy.
Here, I do not see any horses around. The only thing you see is a TV screen up there.
Have you seen
Don't
Rick?
you
He's
think
a
that's
horse.
strange? You came from Michigan and you're not going to see a live...
No, we're going to be on the infield playing.
You can't see anything from the infield then.
We'll hear about it. We'll read about it in ESPN.
I was there.
Radio.
So what are you here to see? That's the big question.
The aura, the atmosphere. You know, go to historical tours and the history, Mammoth Caves, stuff like that.
A lot of beer drinking.
See that guy going to Cleveland?
Okay, thank you guys. Well, a lot of people just cheering, having a good time. They don't care what they see. They just want to experience the Derby. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much,
Yeah, it's the
Tracy.
sort of the gestalt of the whole thing.
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
what are those big green things
They're
you're
big
drinking?
beakers of beer, I believe.
Well, I saw
I've
everybody
never
walking
purchased
out
one, I
with
wouldn't
those yesterday.
I know, it looks like the type of thing that's easily breakable to me.
Well, I don't think it looks like this plastic Sprite bottle all
Yes,
stretched
it
out or
does.
something.
It does.
We'll be back with more of Derby 123 after this. Look at that hat.
Target 32 forces local government to make major changes for you. First, Target 32 investigators Steve Bergen and Kelly Haynes uncover a city paint project wasting your tax money. The city responds. We recommend permanent suspension of the program and
Claiming races, that's essentially when your horse is up for sale. When you put the horse in, he can or she can be bought. So consider that. It's usually a lower class of horse in those races, but sometimes they move up from the claiming races, as is Celtic Warrior today. So you never know. Maybe that could make it actually to the Derby sometime. Not this year with these horses. These are 3-year-olds. Crafty One is the most raced, the most experienced of the bunch here. Kenny McPeak has him ready, and Mike Smith is going to be up in the irons there. Clifty Falls. Forrest Kalin, as I mentioned, has Crimson Classic in the Derby, but he's staying busy. He's got an apprentice rider, Oliver Castillo, up in the irons with him. And Enterprising, the 9-horse, impressive in his first start at Keeneland, awfully impressive in his first start at Keeneland. And of course, Dwayne Lucas has deeds, not words, later on in the afternoon. I see they're beginning to load into the gate, and so we'll send it over to my friend Paul Rogers.
As they load in 2 at a time, the process is going without any problem. Here comes number 4 into position, Salutations. And now comes Capriole, number 10 on the outside. Ready to go for the first race of the day, and they're off. Breaking from the inside is Ice Tizzy from the outside. Clifty Falls jumps right in front. Now Ice Tizzy gets in stride and comes alongside. Along the inside is Say What. Then from the extreme outside, Northline. In between them, Salutations, then Capriole. Down along the rail is Doctor Who. Then it's Enterprising and Crafty One. Down the backstretch, Ice Tizzy has a head in front of Say What. Up from the outside, Clifty Falls is third, and those 3 are right together as they run through the first quarter mile in 21 2/5 seconds. Into the turn, and now Clifty Falls quickly jumps ahead by 2 full lengths. Northline is in second, Ice Tizzy third, Capriole is up to fourth, Say What is fifth, Enterprising sixth. Crafty One has begun to run on the outside as they approach the top of the stretch. Clifty Falls holds the close lead. Northline is second, Capriole is third, Crafty One fourth as they turn into the stretch after the half in 45 1/5. Down the stretch, it is Clifty Falls with the lead. Northline is second. From the outside, Crafty One third. Capriole fourth. On the rail, Doctor Who is next. A 16th of a mile to go. Clifty Falls is drawing clear with the lead. Is going to have to hold off a late charge coming from Crafty One, though. Crafty One is gaining. Clifty Falls and Crafty One. Clifty Falls holds on and wins it over Crafty One. Capriole was third. Doctor Who was fourth. and North Line was next. The time is 1 minute, 11 seconds flat.
And the unofficial winner of the Reva Ridge is Clifty Falls, the pride of southern Indiana, and picked by Melissa Swan.
I think so. The first time I came, it was middle ground in 1950, and it was $18.80 for $2, I think. And
Do you ever win big?
no, not really. I don't think we do as well as we used to do.
Tell me, what is your favorite horse of all the years? Which has been the most spectacular horse to watch?
Oh, I'll just come out with swaps, I guess. In 55, I think it was.
That was your favorite?
But it's really hard to say, though, because there's so many that stand out.
Well, both of you have fun today. Thanks for talking to us.
Well, we appreciate you.
Hey, we may have been...
Tons of folks are watching us right now, so it's our chance to say good morning, Kentuckiana.
And hey, look, they're not wearing their pajamas.
They're all dressed.
So let's work the crowd and tell them what they're going to see Monday if they watch us. We'll have a local middle school performing Oliver for us.
Then Churchill Downs will handicap. It's big weekend for us.
Hey, give me some FaceTime in this, will you? Chris Phillips is going to give you your very first look at the weather, too. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and if this handsome face isn't enough, well, yours too, Barry.
Well, thanks a lot. Join us weekdays at 5:30. It's no horse race, but boy, we have fun.
Strike boldly now, this moment, our first Saturday in May. Strike boldly now, this moment, 'tis yet another Derby day. Our moment in the bluegrass, our moment in Kentucky. Once again, time to be fast. Much better to be lucky.
At LG&E, we know that it's both. And that's why you feel the benefits of one of the lowest energy costs in the country. A fact that brings more than a little comfort to a whole lot of people. LG&E, our energies go to serving you.
It's good enough. And the proverbial cookie.
Cookie? What kind of cookie is this?
Well, this is a little marshmallow cookie. They have some chocolate chip cookies, and they have some other cookies also.
Do you guys kind of do the trade thing?
Yeah, we trade. And, of course, we can't forget
The Coke.
the Coke.
One can.
Or the Sprite. Or one can, yes, that's correct.
Well,
That's
Bob,
right.
feast away.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'll be looking for leftovers, I guess.
Looking for extra crusts, right?
That's correct.
From the ham
That's
sandwich.
correct.
I could
Exactly.
go for one of these, actually.
Yeah, well,
Not too
this,
bad.
at least this doesn't cost us $100.
Very true.
This costs us maybe $1.
Good point, Bob.
Yes.
Very
that's
good
right.
point. Really doesn't matter what you eat, just matters that you do eat. Absolutely.
That's right.
Okay. Thanks for joining us here. We'll have many more reports from Millionaires Row coming up a little bit later.
Okay, I'm hungry, you know?
16 shrimp for $100?
Oh, I know. Well, you definitely opt for the sandwich. You've already told us about the
that's
pencil.
$6 a shrimp.
Well,
They're probably really big shrimp,
that's
though.
what he said. They were big.
Okay, that's
They're
fine.
extra jumbo shrimp.
Stay with us. Our Derby Day Live coverage will continue right after we take a break. Wind's blowing here. Bundle up if you're coming down.
Fred's coming up next, so stay with us.
In the streets, you know you can't fake it. Gotta be real if you're gonna make it. The way it is and the way it will be. Real people, real people. Gotta be, gotta be, gotta be, gotta be real. Oh, yeah. 'Cause it's gotta be, gotta be, gotta be, gotta be real. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. 'Cause it's gotta be, gotta be, gotta be, gotta be real.
News. When you're covering an area as large as Kentuckiana, you need air power to get the story.
Ready for go.
And you need Kentuckiana's only TV newsroom-based helicopter that's ready to hit the air
That was fun.
and deliver live breaking news fast,
Stand by, base.
anywhere, anytime.
Oh, that's beautiful.
News Chopper 32. Air superiority in television news.
Action cam activated.
News Chopper 32. That's 32 for you.
News chopper out.
Montel gives you more amazing events caught on tape.
This is some of the most dramatic tape we've ever shot.
Life or death decisions.
This guy was hanging on for dear life.
Impulsive actions.
And at this point, I wasn't letting go.
And crazy stunts.
This young man tried to mail himself to a friend.
You'll see unbelievable human drama caught in the camera's eye.
He had no respect for human life whatsoever.
Incredible events caught on tape on the next Montel.
The Montel Williams Show, Monday at 9 a.m. on 32 for you.
Welcome back to Derby Day Live. As the crowd's trickling in now, a lot of people here. The millionaire's yet to come, as Liz just said, and Fred slipped away long enough to win a race.
Hey! That's a rare thing with me, you know? I mean, they just got to count them on one hand, no problem.
So you made enough money for lunch to buy lunch?
Well, I'll let you know. It's daily double time.
Oh,
I've only bet the
okay.
7 in doubles with the 1 and the 2 in the second race, so we'll have to wait and see.
Earlier today I said free horse, but it almost is like it was Sire's $500. I mean, it's...
That's very good, Liz. I
Yeah.
like that.
Liz did her data today.
Yes,
she was on the computer bright and early learning all these things.
This horse gets no respect. I mean, if this horse was trained by Wayne Lucas, he'd be 3-1. But the bottom line is, in the first day of betting, Freehouse was, double digits. Nobody thinks this horse can win the Run for the Roses, and I got to tell you, it could be a major wake-up call when it comes to about 540 or so, even though he has the outside 13 post position. Here's a horse that has done everything you'd ever want a Derby horse to do, getting ready for Kentucky Derby 123, except convince people that he can win Kentucky Derby 123. The horse that lacks respect. Take a look.
Run on the outside.
In February, Freehouse was a long shot when he finished a game second to Silver Charm in the San Vicente.
But Silver Charm's done enough to win. Silver Charm wins the San Vicente. Freehouse second.
In March, Freehouse was a long shot again when he upset Silver Charm in the San Felipe.
It's going to be Freehouse and David Flores to win the San Felipe.
And in April, Freehouse still lacked respect. Was a long shot again when he upset Silver Charm again in the Santa Anita Derby.
Freehouse digging in front with Kent DeSormo.
So you're in the Kentucky Derby?
I hope so.
What's that like?
I don't know.
What kind of talents this young man have? Get that bug off him pretty soon, won't they?
Oh, yeah. Well, he'll get to ride it out, but he's got a lot of promises. He looks like a promising rider, being young as he is, and he's going to be all right.
I imagine your instructions from looking at the form of Clifty Falls was pretty much followed. Get him out there early.
Well, I've really told him to take it back.
Really? Well, you took him out early.
No, he just, man, the horse, Mr. Kenny, he just got him so well, training so well, you know, and like he's got him so fit and everything, you know. The horse just broke out there like a bullet, you know, and just hurt all those horses behind him, and he didn't want to take back at all.
Where to go?
It's going to be hard to rate him then.
Right. No, he's a fast horse.
Let me ask you about coming up later on in the Derby. You'll be in with Crimson Classic, who is the outside shot here. Last year you were trying him on the turf.
Round races. Now his Freehouse is a free bird, ready to fly high for a big payoff. It could cost those who don't believe. Talk about the possibility of winning the Kentucky Derby. What's it mean to you?
Just to mean here, it means a lot. To, you know, I think that every horse trainer like to be in Kentucky. Even if you don't have a horse in the Derby, just to be there here for the Derby, you know. And especially, you know, when I got a horse in the Derby, and the horse is doing very good, so.
On Clifty Falls, who was actually 20-1 in the morning line, did not go off as that here, returning $9.20, $5 and $3.80. Crafty won $4.60 and $3.40. Capriole returning $4.80. The time, a nice time of 1:11. This track is rated fast, even though we've had the rain overnight. And the rain this morning, the exacta, 7 and 6, $48.40 a return for our first race of the day here, the Reva Ridge, won by Clifty Falls. Now let's go to Gary and Melissa.
Thank you, Kenny. Well, we were talking about a C trifecta in the Derby. That would be Concerto, Captain Bodgett, and Crypto Star. And you just saw a C trifecta, the horses with the first name starting with C in the first race there. So, I don't know, maybe
more coverage right after this. Stay tuned.
official
Some more difficult questions here.
experience. Only on Kentuckiana's news channel, WHAS 11.
It's the big one.
Coke? Or
it's got
like a soft drink?
syrup in it.
A syrup?
Syrup
Okay.
and crushed ice.
Well, like Coke. Sort of.
Have you had one before?
No.
Are you going to have one today?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't like them.
You've never had one?
I don't even like the smell of them.
But you've never had one?
No. Never had one, and I probably won't have one today.
Okay. Well, fair enough. I hope you have good luck out here at the track
Thanks.
anyway. Thank you.
Thanks.
And we'll find one other person. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Very well. Nice tie, by the way. We're asking
thank
people questions here in the paddock, kind of putting them on the spot. How you doing there, ma'am? Do you know what gives them to a mint julep?
Let me see. It's for foreigners, I know. Let's see. It goes, when I say foreigners, I mean anybody outside of Kentucky.
You're not from Kentucky?
No, I'm from Kentucky, but I live in Atlanta, actually, so it's for foreign. Let's see. It's mint, it's bourbon, it's sugar, it's a bunch of magic stuff after that. And ice.
And crushed ice, right. Are you going to have one today?
No. Oh, God, no.
Why not?
No. Really, I've got hair on my chest already, and if you have too many of those things, I think it's hair all over your body after that.
I think our main anchor, Liz Everman, loves them.
Oh, really?
Still not gonna have it.
No, absolutely not. No, okay. I like the smell, but it's like anything else. If you have too many of those things, I mean, I imagine the police over here are going to drag you, downtown before it's over with.
They may do that. They may be dragging a lot of people away today. Thanks, sir.
Thanks.
Enjoy your time here at the Derby.
Okay.
So you heard it here first. Now you guys know what goes into a mint julep. Liz, now you know. Go ahead and have one. Back to you guys.
Oh, believe me,
She
the
already
secret
knew.
sauce. That's right.
That was the line of the day from a fan. I already have hair in my chest.
I don't need any more.
I
Yeah,
like
that's right.
that.
But you can always use it for fingernail polish remover or something.
All right, well, now we're going to keep on the theme of vices. We're going to go from drinking to smoking, right?
The cigars.
Right.
That's right. Joe Moss and Joe Orlando testing them out.
Hey guys, well, we've got some of the finest racehorses in the world here, so why not some of the finest cigars in the world? I ran into Joe over here and
Hi guys.
He was smoking on his stogie.
Got a stogie going.
That's right. Hey, Rod Young joins us now. He owns all this. Listen, what's up with the cigars today?
They're just the hottest thing going.
Hello, Kenny. Doug Eugene, how are you? Good to see you again, and it's good to be here again as we get ready for our second race. This one also named after a former Derby champ, the Northern Dancer. Of course, the winner of the 1964 Derby, who turned in a 2-minute mile and a quarter race. That was the fastest time for so long till Secretariat came along, and Secretariat's still the only one to do it in under 2 minutes. Although purists would say that Sham, runner-up to Secretariat in the 73 Derby, also turned in a sub 2-minute mile, but it's not on the record because he didn't win it. Now we'll take a look at the field for this one. It is an allowance. It is 6.5 furlongs. This is for 3-year-olds without a win in 1997. Coming out of post position number 1 at 2-1 is Delay of Game. Out of number 2 is Valid Expectations at 2-1. Number 3 is Bick, trained by a man who's won a Derby before, Carl Nafsker, at 7-1. Lord Rusty, coming out of post 4, is at 5-1. At 20-1 is Kingdom City. And rounding out the field, breaking from post number 6 at 7-2, the second choice right now down to 3-1. The second choice right now is Tarzan's Blade. So we have co-favorites in Delay of Game and Valid Expectations breaking from the rail for the second race coming up, a 6.5 furlong allowance. That would be the Northern Dancer. We're about a half hour away from post time for race number 2 here on Derby Day. And the track, even though we've had the rain, remember, it is listed as fast. We had a nice time of 1:11 turned in for the first race today, a 6-furlong race. We'll be checking out the weather conditions throughout the day. Ken Schultz will be doing it, but we'll try to keep you up on what's happening here at trackside as well to see if, once again, this excellent grounds crew here at Churchill Downs doing a great job to keep this track in shape, and we'll keep a track very close to fast, I would imagine, the rest of the day, probably fast Derby Day, unless we get a lot of rain in this afternoon. That's the way it looks here at trackside. Now let's go back to Gary and Melissa.
Thank you very much, Kenny. You know, he's been talking about the weather there, Gene, and we've watched the wind speeds increase, the temperatures go down, and the rain's sort of spitting in our face here. But, you know, these horses, they've been through a lot.
Out here today, I was just saying, but you guys take the cake.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you. Tell me what, I mean, are you guys just out here to entertain? Is there a purpose to this?
I mean, yeah, and sort of, but we're here to sort of kind of like represent Jesus.
Okay,
you know? Yeah.
All right, so it's clowns with a good cause, with a good message.
That's it. That's it, exactly.
So are people walking up and like laughing and talking to you guys?
Yeah, we try to be that way anyway.
Have you guys just gotten out here? Thank you. Have you guys just gotten out here today? Or?
We've been out here about an hour.
All right, that was Concerto.
And one of the prep stakes.
That's right. Now, we're going to take you up to Millionaire's Row now because, you know, even rain, snow, sleet, shine, it doesn't stop the
Come on out, guys. Even if you don't go into Churchill Downs, just come out and hang out down here. It's a great time.
That's right, and it's free, right?
It is.
If you can find a place to park.
Great people.
Going.
Great. We went out to watch the warm-up this morning early and got in late last night, so we're a little jet lagged, but other than that, look forward to having a good day.
All right, now let me ask you, 2 years ago you played Rob Lowe's stepmother, right?
Yes.
This year, I understand that you're going to be working on a TV series coming up this summer, right?
Yes, probably this summer. It's called Spellbound, and it's a detective romantic comedy. I play a witch.
You're playing a witch? Come on, Bo Derek playing a witch?
Yeah.
That's a stretch. A lot of makeup, I guess.
Oh, no, you haven't seen witches lately, obviously.
Oh, so is this a good witch or a bad witch?
Oh, good witch.
Oh, so this is the wicked witch of the... No, it's the good witch of the...
Yes, of the West, yeah.
Of the West, okay. Now, also, I have to tell you, I'm very impressed because we should also point out that not only does Bo travel to the Derby, but she brings her own security in the way of Officer... Who?
Rutledge.
Rutledge. Is this your standard job to guard Bo Derek when she comes to town?
Yes, it is.
So are you assigned to Bo Derek?
Yes, I am.
How would you like to have that assignment? How much could I buy that assignment from you, possibly?
There's no price on it.
And I'm sure that Officer Rutledge is doing a great job, right?
Wonderful job, wonderful job.
Well, you're in good hands with Louisville's finest.
Definitely.
Best of luck to you with the series.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll see you here next year.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Bo Derek, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bob Sokoler for Derby 123.
Yeah, you know,
right, Robert,
that's a tough
thank
job,
you.
but somebody's got to do it.
Oh, yeah, and you used to have
Bo
that
Derek.
tough job. You know, all morning long, we ran those cuts from Don Rickles, who was out where you were last night. How was the Barnstable Brown
It was
party?
really, really nice. Even the weather did not dampen the spirits at all. And he was funny because we had some folks that we were interviewing for the 11, Barbara Eden and Lonnie Anderson, and immediately after we got up, he ran up and said, What? Don't you want to talk to me? So I took a hug and said,
I feel sorry for the poor reporter who very, very meekly asked him, Mr. Rickles, have you been to the track? And he said, no, I'm here for the World's Fair. Why do you think I'm here?
Oh, he's such a kidder. Again, the previews of the race. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Sometimes they're called out in the middle of the night, often in bad weather. Firefighters putting their lives on the line. The WHAS Crusade for Children would like to thank the men and women who fight fires in Kentuckiana, giving their time to help others and finding the time to help the crusade. Crusade 44 is right around the corner. If you see a firefighter collecting, please give generously and take a second to say thank you. The WHAS Crusade for Children, June 7th and 8th.
Let the trumpet sound the race. Of spectacular bid, Seattle slew, from that circle filled with grace, of secretariat and citation too.
Cash in on global warming and cooling.
Terrific. Citywide participation up 33%. Volume was up 44%. That's more than 8 million pounds of recyclables. Thanks to WLKY for getting the word out. And thanks to you for doing your part.
The City of Louisville, the 32 for You Help Force, and people like you, working together. That's
32 for you.
One more. Sir, how are you? Do you know who won the Derby last year?
Is it on the board somewhere up there? No, I don't. I wasn't here last year, unfortunately.
Keep your nose to the...
But I won't forget next year. I'll know who won the Derby next year for this year.
I'm trying to give you a hint here.
What?
Keep your nose. I've got a trivia for you.
Okay.
Who was riding Grindstone last year? Do you know?
A jockey.
A jockey. Very good. Very
Because,
good.
I'm sorry, who
Very
was
good. I'll give
riding?
you a hint. A Tom and...
Harry.
No, Jerry. A Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry Bailey.
Tom and Jerry
Bailey.
Bailey.
Very
Okay,
good.
see, I'm not very good at this. Don't do that to me ever again.
Sorry. I just had to do something like Rob. That was so clever.
Okay, but unfortunately, he had a smarter person than you did. What about Shammy Davis?
Shammy Davis is ridden by Willie Martinez, one of the hotter jocks right now on the circuit, and our Dave Reynolds caught up with him.
Thanks a lot, guys. This time we're joined by jockey Willie Martinez. He's on top of Shammy Davis. And what do you think about this horse?
I tell you what, I don't really know much about this horse other than I have watched him run in the Jim Beam and the Lexington Stakes. I know he's a horse that is improving a lot each of his races. And trainer Nick Cito's got a lot of faith in this horse. And he's the guy that knows how to win these races. So I know I'm just going to go by what he says. And hopefully he likes the off track today. He's going to be off today. So hopefully we'll get a good trip on him.
As a rider, you often ride horses for the first time. And that's kind of the case today. What do you try to do as a first-time rider on top of a horse?
I just basically try to go for by the trainer what the trainer tells me to do. He knows the horse more than I do, obviously, and I just when the gate opens, everything can change. I mean, if he wanted you on the pace, right on the pace, I could get left in the gate. Anything can happen. So I have to. This horse is going to be pretty much his own pilot. I'm just going to try to be a good passenger.
And right now you're coming in as a hot rider too. You've had a lot of success. Did well at Turfway. You've done well at Keeneland in the past. I have a good year, so I'm having a good year so far. The last couple of years has been terrific. We've been working hard, me and my agent. He's been doing an outstanding job picking up the right mounts. And, we've been getting up every mornings earlier, checking with every trainers and trying to get new horses. And we're getting the right opportunities right now. We've got to take advantage of that, though. All right. Thanks a lot, Willie. Best of luck today.
Thank you.
All right. Willie Martinez aboard as Shammy Davis. We'll send it back to you.
Okay.
They sure look nice, all dressed in their suits and everything.
They do. They look different.
Yeah, they look so different. It's hard to say, remember
And
who
they're
they
so
are.
tiny when you see them in person. I mean, they really are small.
That's right. That's so they don't weigh too much on top of those horses. They don't.
Must be tough.
This is Pulpit, who was a 2-to-1 morning favorite. He is at 8-to-1, has been there all morning long. Most of the play going along the way of Silver Charm and Captain Bodget, and some play also for Crypto Star. Probably, if it continues to rain and gets harder here, a lot more people will like Captain Bodget, who, of course, is coming into this off the Wood Memorial. He won that on a sloppy track in a strong stretch run to come up with the victory. Now let's go over to Doug and Gene.
Kenny, and once again, we want to welcome Kenny from WTVQ in Lexington and all of our viewers today joining us in Central Kentucky who are watching WHAS11's coverage on Channel 36 in Lexington. Well, the last horse to win the Kentucky Derby running wire to wire was Winning Colors back in 1988. Just some of the tradition that abounds here at the track, and our Yolanda Vasquez from Louisville Tonight Live is outside the track right now to bring us up to date on the latest crowds.
Another must on Derby Day, besides betting on that winning horse, is getting some grub. And we've got Brenda Foster here, who's making quite a big array of food here. What have you got there, Brenda?
Oh, we have some rib tips here, some hot links. We're ready to put on some corn on the cobs and pork on barbecue pork on bun, just getting ready for the Derby.
Now that seems like quite a bunch of food there. Where'd you come up with the idea to have this type of food?
Well, for one, I have a restaurant in E-Town called Tasty Barbecue. And this is the type of food that people like to eat this time of year.
And what's everybody's favorite, the sausages or the meat?
The rib tips are.
The rib tips?
Yeah.
And how much are you going for?
The rib tips are $5 for an order. Hot links are $3. All of the sandwiches are $3.
Now come with me over here. You've got some things. Now what exactly is this? I see some peppers and onions, and it's got some stuff on top. Talk to me about that.
Okay, the peppers and onions are here. We're going to put those on the grill to saute them. It has butter on top of it, and this is to go with whatever sandwiches that they would like to have. And we do our own sauce. Everything is homemade.
Sounds good to me. Do you ever get a chance to take a break and go out there and watch the races?
No. No, I just listen to everything that's going on here from here.
All right, thank you very much, Brenda. I'm Yolanda Vasquez for Derby 123.
All right, thanks so much, Yolanda. Is our new addition to Louisville Tonight Live. Well, I tell you, the weather's not stopping the folks. They are continuing to stream in through those
Rain
gates.
is coming in.
And the rain is coming in.
You've got the nice hat.
And if you don't want to go, come here, stay home. We're going to be here live with you all day long with our exclusive coverage. You can only see it here, WHAS 11. We'll be back in just a moment.
When breaking news happens and it appeared that there were some explosions,
There's only one channel to see it first. See it live.
It was so hot. Very tense moment.
Sky 11 with Power Cam. Only on Kentuckiana's News Channel. WHAS 11.
You're watching 14 hours of continuous live coverage from your official Kentucky Derby station. We are Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11. We love them. We're obsessed with them.
Just a little touch of star quality.
Louisville Tonight Live gets Starstruck Tuesday at 7:30 on WHAS 11.
For a lucky star is Crypto Star.
You got to look at your chances, look at the field, and there's been times when we've been there and felt like we were really up against it. It would take nothing short of a miracle to get the job done, and it's still fun being there.
Many have run with the pack. Ron McAnally wants Hello to lead it. It would cap off his Hall of Fame career with the one thing it's lacked. Writer Shane Sellers would like Pulpit to lead he and father figure trainer Frankie Brothers to a rosy future.
Just to win the Derby and to win it for Frankie would be, I don't know. I couldn't explain it. I get goosebumps when I think about it.
Oh, come on, you want to win?
Yes, sure, of course I want to win.
Well, then you got to have this.
I want to win, but I don't want the savings of a lifetime wiped out in the twinkling of an eye.
Some are ready to bet their savings on Captain Bodgett. 33-year-old trainer Gary Capuano is already living a dream many never know.
You never know when you're going to get your hands on one, and when you do, it's to get to this point is even harder.
But watch for Silver Charm to lead a charmed life the first Saturday in May. Silver Charm has the talent to survive the run for the Roses, the breeding to go the distance, and the heart to finish first.
Now I can tell my wife to order a hat.
You feel good about going to Kentucky?
Are you sick? I'm feeling...
Springtime grow strong and are tested. And finally they are called to the swift...
My own Kentucky home, for my own Kentucky home, far away,
away. Win or lose Derby Day. That song inspires a lot of fun, a lot of interesting times, but here, for better or for worse, are my Derby picks.
Here they
Isn't that a house payment right there?
I borrowed some money to do this. $20 to win on Silver Charm. Plus, that's the 6, by the way. Plus a $1 trifecta box with the 5, 6, 9, and 12. Those are the 2 dual qualifiers, plus the horses that just missed dual qualifiers, Captain Bodgett and also Freehouse.
Hello, Silver Charm.
And welcome back as you overlook the beautiful twin spires here at the track as we are continuing our coverage live from the Kentucky Derby Museum. Hello, I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Jean West, and those famous twin spires here at the Downs will once again see another historic Kentucky.
And dual qualifiers have a history of success in this event. I mean, 20 of the last 25 Derby winners have been dual qualifiers. Only 2 are in this race. They are Silver Charm and Hello, so I boxed them.
Okay.
Two years ago.
Watching the races, having fun. John Rickles and his wife, lovely wife, Barbara. How do you feel both of you?
Why are you so excited?
Well, I've watched you. All of us have watched you as we grew up.
I get the feeling the race is on and you're out of control.
I'm always out of control.
I mean, I thought I was hyper, but you need a hot bath, something. Bob, you got to snap out of this.
I'll try. This is your first time here, though, to Kentucky and the racetrack.
We drove in from L.A. I'm very tired, and we wouldn't have missed it. It's my life, the Kentucky Derby. That and a julep.
Have you had a mint julep yet?
Oh, we're going to get sucked up on this right now.
Open that up for us. The first time, folks, that Don Rickles has ever had a mint julep. Go ahead. No, seriously.
This is the truth.
They say this is to the end all. This is what you come to Kentucky for, the mint julep.
I'm strictly a vodka man, but tonight I'll go bananas or this afternoon.
Okay. Yeah?
A few of these, and I could, maybe fool with the wife.
Barbara, when he's mentioned you like that, in that vein, all these years, do you enjoy that? Do you like hearing it?
Love it. 32 years later, why not? It's okay.
And they call you such a mean man, and here...
What's in it for us students? Just one of the most exciting learning environments in the world. You see, Ronnie, U of L's becoming a national research powerhouse is just a part of our Challenge for Excellence program. We're out to promote excellence for everyone throughout the entire university, especially for students like you. Thanks. Good job. You earned it.
To a lot of Sky 11 now, where George Sells has a look at the crowds coming in and can tell us a little bit about the traffic along the routes. George?
Gene, that was a tough act to follow. We'll get right to the traffic. It looks like right now, if you take a look down below, Southern Parkway is the most popular exit off of the Waterson Expressway. It's backing up there. Your best bet, it seems, at this point is if you move down the Waterson to the next exit. Taylor Boulevard is not backed up nearly as much at this point. The good news for you is once you do manage to get off the interstate and move into the surface streets, those seem to be moving pretty well at this time. We may actually be benefiting a little bit from this bad weather we've had earlier today, simply because of the fact that people are sort of spreading out as they move into the track. The surface streets, as we move in toward Churchill Downs, are moving pretty well all along through here, but right now the only places backing up are the two exits off the Waterson Expressway, and 4th Street on the other side of the track coming in from downtown is a little bit heavy. As we move on over closer to Churchill Downs itself, the infield is starting to fill up as you'd expect, but a lot of empty seats in the grandstand, something I'd be pretty surprised to see on any Derby day, but I'm sure that's going to change. And it looks like you got a little sunshine around you right now. Obviously good news for people who want those fast horses to come in for them once the race gets underway. We are seeing some showers off to the south and southwest. They've been popping up all over the place. We've flown through a few as we've come in earlier today, so we'll leave those kind of predictions up to Ken Schultz, but it looks like it's anybody's guess where these showers are going to pop up next. But for now, the traffic situation really not too bad. A lot of people are already inside, and if you're one of those folks planning on coming out late, you're going to be in pretty good shape. For now, I'm George Sells, high above the Derby for Derby 123. Back to you.
All right, George, thank you. And right now, we are under one of those nice, healthy, sunny cells for a little while at least.
The clouds have parted. Imagine Don Rickles in the infield. Just a thought. Well, what year did Man of War win the Kentucky Derby?
Said, I do not come back here unless I've got a horse that'll at least place in the top 2 or 3. And he says, I think Ferdinand will do it. And that was a California horse. And boy, he did it at 17-1. And we were so excited.
How much did you win?
Well, I don't remember now, but you would have thght it was the national debt.
Well,
because it was like
a lot of zeros after it.
No.
She's always worried about the tax man catching up with us.
Well, good luck to you guys today.
Thanks,
Have a fun day. Nice to see you both.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Well, first of many still to come, so we'll bring you those reports later throughout the day.
And I like...
We're off and running.
Our job is to make sure everyone in America knows the best.
Of course, winning colors, another filly. And so I did win on that one
Okay.
too. But little ET, I'm not going to go all the way down the list, but a few.
Well, you've picked more than Fred then.
He's only picked how many?
2 or 3,
Two
maybe.
or 3.
at
You
the
picked
most,
what?
yeah.
3?
2.
2
Yeah.
since you've been here.
Okay, our Derby Day Live coverage will continue after we take a break. Stay right there.
Here if they knew what the other side was like.
Watch Angels touching Kentuckiana Sunday at 11. That's 32 for you.
Follow your own lead.
4th horse is at 6-1.
Kingdom City. We mentioned Tammy Fox. She's one of a few ladies that are going to be up in the irons this afternoon. You can probably count on Donna Barton and Patty Cooksey being up for a couple of the other races throughout the afternoon. But Tammy Fox is a female jockey, and she's going to be on Kingdom City. He likes Churchill. He's raced here 5 times and has won 3 of them. So Kingdom City is a long shot, though, at 25-1. And the 6th horse, Tarzan's Blade, a favorite of a lot of people here. He has run in a bunch of races, including the Derby Trial several years back. Steve Morganland trained, Pat Day ridden. Tarzan's Blade is going off at 9-2. There's the lineup, a short field here, and I see they're beginning to load into the gate. A short field as they're loading into the gate, but a very quick field, and we'll see if the early fractions are as quick as they were in the first race. They sealed the track last night, which meant that the moisture couldn't get in, and that's why we have a fast track from the first race on. And now let's toss it over to Paul Rogers for the race call.
Here comes Tarzan's Blade, leading money winner in the field with better than $500,000 in his career. He's in the pink silks behind the gate, waiting to be let in. Here comes Tarzan's Blade, ready to go. They're off. Getting away a little late was Bick. From the outside, Tarzan's Blade moves for the lead. From the inside, Delay of Game. Right alongside him is Valid Expectations, and then Lord Rusty. Then Tarzan's Blade is 4th, Bick is 5th, and Kingdom City is 6th. Down the backstretch, and it's Delay of Game who pushes out the lead by 1.5 lengths over Valid Expectations. Bick and Lord Rusty are together in 3rd and 4th. 2.5 lengths to Tarzan's Blade 5th. Kingdom City is 6th. First quarter mile, 22 2/5 seconds. They head into the turn, well bunched up front. Delay of Game has it by a head over Valid Expectations. Lord Rusty is up to 3rd. Bick is 4th.
A little bit of my Kentucky home.
Sure,
Okay.
that'd be great.
I cannot sing.
God, I don't know.
Yeah. Clear with Bick in 2nd as we come to the wire. It's going to be Valid Expectations. He takes it. Valid Expectations is the winner by a 2.5 lengths.
Try it again. They want me to try it again. So my diaphragm has to really be filled with air. I can play tag.
Very good. No, let's not play tag. This is supposed to be an uplifting show, okay?
That's right. Thank you.
Okay.
One more song. Play something else.
Mason Grace.
Good. That's a great one.
If you like
out here to the victory, we can only wonder what might have happened if Bick had not been left at the start, but that's racing, and particularly when you're talking about a sprint race. That is racing, and that's the tough breaks of life, I guess. Let's go down to Kenny Rice, and he's going to give us a chance to talk to maybe some of the folks who saw the race from the inside. Kenny, Bick, as I said, really likes to stalk the pace, not to be a strong closer, particularly in a sprint race like this.
Yes, that is true. And speaking of closers, the man who is riding, I think, the best closer in the Derby field today is Pat Day, who will be aboard Crypto Star. How do you like that assessment, Pat?
You put it pretty well.
You know this track better than anyone, I think, around, from the stewards to any officials to any jockey, about Churchill Downs track. How does the track look out there right now to you?
Well, my hat's off to Butch and his crew. They just done an excellent job with all the rain we had last night. Track's in great shape. Track's in great shape. It's pretty tight. Might be favoring speed just a little bit right now. We'll have to wait and see what it looks like later on. But judging by the time of the race, I think that's a pretty good indicator of the condition of the racetrack.
You mentioned it might be favoring speed. It is the first couple of races here today. Looking at the way the Derby sets up, Silver Charm is expected to get out there. What kind of fractions are you taking a guess at here? In other words, do you think that Crypto Star, who you told me earlier this week, sometimes you have to get his attention and remind him making up 14 lengths like he did in the Arkansas Derby won't always be easy? What kind of fractions you think you're going to see out there?
Oh, I really don't know. You know, we'll have to just kind of play it by ear once we get into the race. What they do up in front of us is totally out of my control. I'm just going to concentrate on my horse. As I've said all week, I'm going to try to talk him into it, leaving a half-mile pole, have him start gathering up his horses, and then give him some place to run in a stretch. I would hope it'd be a realistic pace, but you never can tell. You know, a field like this and the quality of riders and horses in this field, it's very competitive, very contentious. I've got the utmost respect for everybody involved, and it's going to be a great horse race.
Kenny?
Pat, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Kenny writes, could you ask Pat Day
one
question? His horse may have to close from the outside. I'm wondering if he thinks the outside or the middle of the track is just as quick as the inside at this point.
Jeff Lifson was talking about, we're kind of giving a survey of the track here today, Pat. If you had to close from outside the middle of the track, where's a good place to be the way the track is right now?
Well, right now it looks like it's pretty much the same all over. I don't see I don't see where it's any different inside or outside, but we'll have to watch a few more races and get a real handle on that.
Okay, thanks, Pat. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Pat Day, the king of racing here at Churchill Downs, trying for his second Derby win. Had one, of course, with Lil E.T. back in '92. He'll be aboard Crypto Star, who was the third choice in the early Kentucky Derby betting, as we looked at the odds just about an hour ago, just behind at this time Captain Bodgett and Silver Charm. Then there is 4-1 right now, Crypto Star. Let's take a look at the payoff here in this. The Northern Dancer, Valid Expectations, the winner, returning $5.20, $3.40, and $2.60. Big $5 and $3.40. Delay of game $2.60. The Daily Double, 7-2, $25.40. The exact in this race, $28.80, and the running time at 1:16.3. So far in the first couple of races, we have seen a favorite, slight favorite for the speed in the first two races at Churchill Downs. And regardless if that holds up throughout the day, rarely is the Kentucky Derby decided by the front runner in this, as I think you heard earlier, Doug and Gene talking about 88 winning colors, the last to go wire to wire to win it, and before that it was spend a buck in 85, so it doesn't happen often, although the speed will be important in this to see just how it sets up. As Pat Day said, they want to see some realistic fractions out there and set up the closers, and he has one of the best ones in Crypto Star. Now let's go over to Gene and Doug. And I like your Derby hat again this year, Gene.
Well, thank you so much, Kenny, and I always love having you here.
He says all the right things, doesn't he?
I bet he says that to all the girls, right?
Yeah, right.
No, kidding. You're just joking. Thanks so much.
Well, we want to tell you that some people would say Pat Day is blessed at this track, and so are some of the other jockeys. Our Barry Burnson found out just why.
This is a quiet time at Churchill Downs before the action gets started. Dan Powell behind me is usually the pastor of the Green Acres Baptist Church on Poplar Level Road. Today he's functioning as the racetrack chaplain. The jockeys are listening to a little sermon right now.
Focused on the fact that the book of Genesis might really be an appropriate book for us to use because it was the beginning of the 123rd Derby and all of the festivities and activities related to that. What we've been looking at together through the past few days is the fact that in the story of Adam and Eve, we saw how God understood the disobedience of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and yet even though they disobeyed, God made very special provisions for them. And what God did for them was make skins of clothing so that they could cover themselves. The nakedness reminded them of their disobedience. But one of the things that's very powerful out of that story is that not only did God make skins, he also prepared for another time. For in that very story of Adam and Eve, there's a part of that story where God talks about the fact that the seed of the woman would be bruised in the heel and the seed of the serpent would be bruised in the head. Now I believe that that is a prophetic word about the promise of God's own Son coming for us.
Horse racing a dangerous sport, and some of the jockeys obviously take comfort in a little bit of spiritual comfort before a Derby 123. I'm Barry Burnson.
It's always important to have a friend upstairs when you're on a big, fast horse.
And you can imagine if Don Rickles warmed him up this morning.
I don't want to imagine that. Well, we'll be here all day with our exclusive coverage of Derby 123. Doug Profit and I and our friends Gary and Melissa are going to join you a little later. Stay with us all day long as we bring you live pictures from all over the track, from the sky, from the infield, from the track side, from the back side, from the roof. We'll be back in a moment.
WHAS 11. This is who we are. The investigators. Doug Prophet, the Prophet Report.
Security numbers from our driver's licenses after a long
Mark Hebert on the mark.
Kentucky taxpayers $2.4 million.
Uncovering the stories that make the difference. Presenting the facts that get you results.
Still a lot of people coming through.
Doug Prophet and Mark Hebert, your award-winning team of investigators. WHAS 11. We are Kentuckiana's news channel.
Here in the Outback, you can't take anything for granted.
You did remember how I love onions, didn't you?
Even a simple meal can be an adventure.
Eggs a sing? I forgot the bloomin' onion.
At Outback Steakhouse, you get all the mood of the Outback with none of the inconvenience.
Roger. Dessert?
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
You got a pretty decent-sized chunk of land to mow. Say, Montana. Make sure you also have the Cub Cadet by MTD lawn tractor with a solid steel direct drive shaft. And when you're finished there, Wyoming could use a bit of a trim. Cub Cadet by MTD. American made, American owned.
A successful tomato patch requires planting, and each year I plan on growing too many tomatoes. I like giving them away. Beefmaster, Roma. I've got Early Girl and Big Boy. Of course, if you're serious about tomatoes, you go to HQ. They're like Vegetable Central with tons of everything in stock and more kinds of tomatoes than just about anyone.
You want better boy or beefsteak?
Without HQ, I'd be a guy coming around with just one kind of tomato. And that would be weird.
HQ and nowhere else.
On a warm summer night, there's nothing like the taste of a WD brand steak. WD brand beef. Only from Winn-Dixie, the beef people.
From Kentuckiana's news channel, WHAS 11, live from Churchill Downs, this is Derby 123.
You're looking live at Churchill Downs, a little sprinkle. It is cool and windy here this afternoon for Derby Day number 123. In the first two races, the speed is held up. They were allowance races. We now begin stakes races all the way through to the running of the Roses. And in race number 3 today, it is the WHAS11 Stakes. This is the only race of the day, the only stakes race where we'll see the 2-year-olds. It's a 5-furlong race as well. That is 5/8 of a mile. They'll start the 5/8 pole on the backside. We take a look at the field for this. Out of post position, we'll go with first off, the Derby odds. Okay, we'll go with this now. Willcrest breaks from post position 4. Betting is number 1 on the cloth. Willcrest is at 9-1. Strew Lane is part of that entry also at 9-1. Tommaso is at 35-1. At 20-1 is Cutie Ludi. World Series is at 7-2. Jess M at 2-1. The 6 is Soldier Field at 6-1. Favorite Trick at 6-1. Salt Lick at 16-1. Number 9 is Dabney Carr at 7-1. Scratch 10, Lollygag. Number 11 is Cowboy Dan at 25-1. And Princess Olivia is at 30-1. That is the field coming up for the WHAS 11 Stakes. 5 furlongs again. This will be for 2-year-olds. That's our next race in 38 minutes here on Derby Day. We looked at the Derby odds briefly. We'll take a closer look at them now. Most of the interest has been on Silver Charm and Crypto Star and Captain Bodgett Pulpit starting the day at the morning line favorite. Not the case right now. Jack Flash and Shammy Davis, the Zito entry is in there at 15-1. Crypto Star now at 4-1. Phantom on Tour 17-1. Concerto at 10-1. Captain Bodgett remains a slight favorite over Silver Charm at 3-1. Silver Charm at 7-2. Crypto Star the third choice at 4-1. Celtic Warrior at 30-1. Pulpit remains in there at 8-1. Opened the day at 2-1. In the early betting, he was 8-1. He's been that way for a couple of hours now. Hello at 10-1. Deeds Not Words 25-1. Crimson Classic, I think he could be 100-1 by the time the race starts. He's up to 80-1 now. And Freehouse holding steady. He's at 12-1. He's been there for a while. So Captain Bodgett is a slight pick over Silver Charm. The third choice among the public at this moment is Crypto Star. And then the early favorite, the morning line favorite, Pulpit, is at 8-1 at this stage. Now it is time to go over to Gene and Doug. And how do you guys like my derby hat?
Hey, Kenny, you look pretty nice. I got a question for you. D. Wayne Lucas said he was putting Deeds Not Words in the Derby because of the weather forecast. He was looking at a day like this that we're sitting in. Do you think that has any merit for the potential of this horse later today?
Well, I think that Wayne would not bring a horse over here just to bring a horse over here. In all respect to him, his 17th straight Derby, he's had 32 starters with Deeds Not Words starting today. I know there's been criticism that he's doing it for an ego trip or for whatever reasons, but Deeds Not Words, I think you can make a case for him more than you can about 3 or 4 other horses in this field. Deeds Not Words belongs in here if they do. And with Lucas having a horse in it, I think it's always worth taking a look at, Doug. But the one thing is, it's going to take a lot of rain here. This track, as Jeff Lifson mentioned earlier, was sealed last night. They do a great job at Churchill Downs every year. Derby Day, we can go back and look at some really bad weather days, like '89 with Sunday Silence. It takes a day like that to get this to be an off track. So Deeds Not Words has been training well over this track, according to Lucas. I think that's going to be the real key, is how well that Deeds Not Words is training. And according to Lucas, he's training well enough that he's going to give him a shot here today.
Thanks a lot, Kenny. By the way, on the WHAS Stakes, there's a great article about this stakes race in today's program. It's on the last page by Steve Davidowitz. And Gene, he says that stakes race has provides an excellent wagering opportunity for most people, that it has been that profitable over the years. And, of course, we're proud to be a part of it.
Indeed.
Although I haven't seen that money in my pocket.
Oh, well,
I never get it right.
We might if you do a good job today, Doug.
All right.
Well, you know, the largest crowd here at Churchill Downs was in 1974. That was actually the 100th year for the Kentucky Derby. More than 163,000 people streamed into here. And Terry Miners was probably there among all of them, as he is today. Terry?
Shelter will be the optimum word this afternoon throughout the Kentucky Derby run here, because the winds keep kicking up. You don't know if it's going to rain on you or whatever. You got 6 geniuses over there trying to put together a tent. It may take all day to get this thing actually accomplished. Other people, they'll go for a simpler mode of protection. These are the hefty trash babes. Hi, how are you? What's your name?
Michelle.
Michelle, you really went all out on your fashion for raincoats,
We did. Yep, sure did.
What's your name, hon?
Heather.
Hi, Heather. Are any of the guys coming over and asking you for dates because they see in
We've
your
had
hut?
about 25 already, yeah.
Just because of your sexy raincoats?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much does the trick. What about this, Heather? How do you explain this?
Tramping through the garbage on the way in.
You gotta get a better job or something.
I do.
You can be on Millionaires Row next year. All right. And hey, one of my old buddies is back too. I forgot his name. I think it's the Bear or something other. This man is the human art canvas. Hey there, Snooky! What's going on, buddy?
Hey, here we are.
Snooky's back, ladies and gentlemen. The human canvas. Let's show him. Here's his Snooky.
I got some more.
Oh, you got some more?
I got some more. How y'all doing this year? Kentucky tattoos.
Snooky, that's very nice. When you go to church, does the rest of the congregation get into that?
Yeah, you know, they ask me why.
You're kind of nuts, aren't you, Snook?
Yeah, I got some more.
There's Snook. He's still working on it. Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, the good news is Snooky has gotten even wider than last year.
Yeah,
he's growing year by year. For Derby 123, without my nose ring, I'm Terry Miners.
All right, we had to break down. See this? Okay.
Battling
our
umbrellas.
And a coat thanks to your mother-in-law, Polly Hammond. Thank you.
Yeah, she's not wearing it today.
No, she can be here, but her coat
she's not
made
out
it.
here.
Thank you. Whoa. Okay. We're going to
just let it fly.
We're going to let it fly. We're going to tell you about Freehouse, which got a little revenge in the San Felipe Stakes. Freehouse is a great colt. He's been beaten in the previous race by, who was that? Silver Charm. But this time, he beat this gray, light gray charcoal.
It sounds good enough to me,
okay,
Gene.
Well, let's pick it up in the stretch run.
at the top of the lane, and the grey Freehouse punches in and kicks on for home, and it's Freehouse now striding clear. Down at the rail, King Crimson tries to come back, and Silver Charm getting involved late on the outside, past the 16th pole, and Freehouse in full flight for the wire, chased home by Silver Charm, but it's going to be Freehouse and David Flores to win the San Felipe.
Photographing the damage, and they're going to develop these films and run them as soon as possible.
WHAS11 pioneered aerial news gathering more than 20 years ago.
At noon today, as the storm began to taper off, the expressways were virtually deserted.
First in the air, first on the air, Sky 11 with over 20 years of airborne experience. Only on Kentuckiana's news channel, WHAS 11.
It's common sense, really, that you should be able to communicate with whomever you want. Without having to worry about the security of your connection. Introducing wireless service that is secure from eavesdropping and secure from number theft. Sprint PCS, the replacement for cellular, is here.
All heating and air conditioning companies are not alike. There is a difference. The difference is people, and the difference is quality. That's why we have the best people and sell the best equipment, Lennox. Our relationship extends beyond the initial sale and installation. Our job isn't complete until the customer's completely satisfied.
Accept nothing less than Lennox quality and Prudential experience.
An exciting place for everyone. Come on, get loose and have some fun. On the river of Indiana's rising sun. Let's go. All right. Fun and thrills, day or night. On the Grand Victoria Casino.
All the fun is in Rising Sun, Indiana. Find out what everyone is raving about at the Grand Victoria Casino. For reservations, call 1-800-GRAND-11.
Call 1-800-GRAND-11.
My office. This is my office. This is where I do everything. It's Audrey. Will you just tell him that Audrey called? Audrey? Yes. Don't change, please don't change. David Rosen available.
Looks like he just left to go to a meeting.
I'm like 15 minutes away. When will he be back? Right. I wish you could just talk into the phone and it would dial.
For one-to-one loan solutions, call us. Bank 1-to-1.
And welcome back to our Derby Day coverage, Derby 123. We are approaching race 3. 2-year-olds will be going at it in the first stakes race of the day, the WHAS11 Stakes. Let's take a look now at the odds for the race coming up. A field of 12. We do have one scratch in it. There are 2 betting interests as well in this, 2 separate betting interests. Okay, we're going to the Derby odds now? We'll go to take a look at the Derby odds, I understand. And here they are. Jack Flash at 15-1, along with Shammy Davis, the Zito entry. Crypto Star is at 4-1. Phantom on Tour at 17-1. Concerto 10-1. Captain Bodgett, the slight favorite at this moment, over Silver Charm 3-1. Silver Charm is at 7-2. Looking at the rest of the Derby field, Celtic Warrior at 30-1. Pulpit at 8-1, Hello at 10-1, Deeds Not Words 25-1, Crimson Classic at 80-1, and Freehouse is at 12-1 for the Derby. A field of 13, of course. There are 12 betting interests. Now we'll take a look at the WHAS11 Stakes. The entry of Willcrest and Stray Lane are at 9-1 at this time. Number 2, Tommaso, is at 40-1. Cutie Ludi is at 20 to 1. World Series at 4 to 1. The favorite is Jess M. 5 horses at 2 to 1. At 6 to 1 is Soldier Field. Favorite Trick, the 7 horse at 5 to 1. At 17 to 1, Salt Lick. Number 9 is Dabney Carr at 5 to 1. Scratch number 10, Lollygag. Number 11 is Cowboy Tom at 25 to 1. And then you get 2 for the price of 1 with this entry. It is Princess Olivia and Eagle's Wings. They are part of the field. That's the 12 bet there. They're at 35 to 1 right now as we near the start of the WHAS11 Stakes. Still about 27 minutes away from post time. And keep in mind, even though it's a little damp and cool out here and with the wind, the track is listed as fast. We've had some decent fractions in the first 2 races of the day, and the speed has held up in the first 2 races here on Derby 123 day. Now let's go over and see Gary Melissa. I hope it's drier over there.
Well, Kenny, I'll tell you why it's drier. Because there's an overhang here at the Derby Museum, and we've come in out of the garden under the overhang, and it's giving us a little shelter from the storm. Now, if the wind was to shift and it blew in sideways like it did last night during the 6 o'clock news, it could get a little wet under here. But presently, we are dry, although you've gone to the raincoat.
Oh, I have gone to the raincoat. It is very, very chilly out here. Everyone who's coming in has heavy coats on. This is like a winter day at Churchill Downs.
Well, where would we go next? Bob Sokoler is out and about Churchill Downs and brings us this report. Hello, Bob.
If you are fans of Caroline in the City, you will know the lady who is standing next to me. It is Leah Thompson. How are you?
Very good. I'm very excited. This is so fun.
This is your first Derby.
Yes, and it's big fun.
I mean, it's a big event, too. I mean,
oh, my God.
Do folks out in the West Coast know how big of an event this is? And
No. I mean, I kind of knew because my husband loves horses, so, and but he couldn't come.
Oh,
but
so
yeah.
you're here placing the bets for him?
Yeah, I am. I'm really excited. I also know Jerry Bailey.
Jerry Bailey?
Yeah, he's a jockey.
So you've got a little vested interest here.
Yeah, I know.
Anybody else that you might want to say hi to here in Louisville that you might know? No, you're making friends, though.
No, yeah.
I see a lot of people, and you've got your own security, which is great.
Yeah, some of Louisville's finest. Officer Amy here.
Which is great. Now, all right, so here's the thing. I know you're working with this series. That takes up a lot of your time. But what about movies? I mean, a lot of us love you from Back to the Future, and certainly would love to see some more of those.
Yeah, you know what? I have 2 little kids, and my husband's working this summer, so I'm kind of taking it easy on this hiatus because they need one of us around, and I'm a little bit tired. So the show is really fulfilling to me, and May Sweeps is coming up, and I'm promoting that. So.
Yeah, actually, we were in May Sweeps as a matter of fact. It gets here fast, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of exciting things happening. I'm going to New York. I'm doing all that. But in terms of movies, I'll probably do a couple of them, little movies, independent movies.
Well, that's nice. So that would give some filmmakers a break. So we're down the line.
Yeah, and it only takes 3 weeks, not 3 months, and I don't have that much time. So.
And are those cut out in the West Coast most of the time?
I don't know.
No, it doesn't really matter to you. As long as it's only 3 weeks away from the kids, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Do you take them on the road at all with you when you go?
A little bit, but my daughter's in kindergarten, so, it's very important.
Oh, of course. You wouldn't want to miss a class.
No way. There's lots of exciting things in kindergarten.
All right. Well, Leah Thompson, the very best with the show, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. It's really exciting.
All right. Good luck on the Derby race.
Okay.
All righty. I'm Bob Sokoler for Derby 123.
Caroline in the City. Isn't that one of those sitcoms that's on another network that comes on another time? Where's that home improvement guy when we need him?
I know. He needs to come to the Derby. He's a very Tim Allen, very
of course,
interesting
our
guy.
favorite is Drew Carey on ABC. The newsroom stops on Wednesday night when the Drew Carey show comes on. So Caroline in the
Now
City.
you know the secret.
Very nice show. Very sweet young woman there. And
yes, we have gone to the coats. We've gone to the gloves. It's very cold. We're getting
oddly enough, though,
spitting
we
rain.
look out here. There's a little bit of sunshine now.
It is an odd day.
It's an odd day. And we have for you an odd meteorologist. Ken, you out there?
Well, we've gone to the hats, we've gone to the gloves, and we've gone to the towel. I don't get it. Kenny Rice comes out here once a year. I've been working for you guys for 18 years. I get a towel, he gets a hat. Next lifetime, I want to come back with Kenny Rice's hair. All right, let's take a look at the radar and show you what's happening. We have had some showers out here. Trey chic, don't you think? All right, let's take a look at the radar and show you the shower activity that we do have dotted around, have had dotted around the region throughout the course of the morning hours. Trust me, they're out there, and they're going to stay out there for the balance of the day, it looks like. Showers. You know, it's not out of the question that we could even see an isolated thunder shower. What are you laughing about? All right, we have some showers around the region, as you can see. Moderately heavy just in isolated spots, mostly just the hit and miss brief showers, but they extend on off to our west, and that's where they're going to be coming in from all day long. So really, this weather picture is not going to change all that much. I think right on through the afternoon hours, glimpses of sun, but lots of clouds and showers around. But believe it or not, even though some people are saying, hey, it's snowing out here, it's actually a little bit too warm for that. Current temperature, 60 degrees right now, showers in the area, but we have a west wind gusting as high as 31 miles per hour, and we're going to see that wind gusting as high as 35 during the course of the day today. Here's the forecast. More of the same. Mostly cloudy skies, scattered showers. A thunder shower is possible, but the scattered showers right through the afternoon into the evening hours, that west wind gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. We are in the low 60s now. We'll see that temperature, I think, by late afternoon drop into the 50s, and when you add that wind, obviously that is a factor. But believe it or not, the track is drying off. They consider it fast. Talked to Butch Leard, and he said, you know, if we didn't get any significant rain, they may even have to water the track by 2 o'clock this afternoon. Odd, huh?
Yeah, Ken, you say the temperature's 60 degrees, but what's the wind chill? That's what we want to know. With those 35-mile-an-hour wind gusts, you really feel it bite through you, even with coats on.
Really do. You know, he looked so, shall I say, chic there.
Not bad, huh?
Hey, Ken, do you think you'll be going over to Keeneland, perhaps buying a horse with your oil money?
What do you mean, going to buy? Third race, fourth horse, that's mine, all right?
WHAS TV Stakes, he's there.
I'm going to blow this pop stand. I want to get into some real money.
Okay.
Ken Schultz, direct from the sands of Arabi. We'll be back with more of Derby 123 in just a moment.
You're watching 14 hours of continuous live coverage from your official Kentucky Derby station. We are Kentuckiana's news channel, WHAS11.
Ellen DeGeneres' girlfriend left us confused.
I was not gay before I met her.
Are you born gay or do you choose to be gay? Next, Oprah.
Monday at 4 on WHAS 11. Rock steady aerial news coverage like you've never seen before. Sky 11 with our gang. Only on Kentuckiana's news channel, WHAS 11.
Our job is to make sure everyone in America knows the best place to buy sporting goods. And we won't rest until they do.
Goes to the center of the track in third. He's a length from the lead as Pulpit takes command of the race. Now acceptable to second. Jules cannot keep up. Stolen Gold is running late toward third. Down to the last 16. It's Pulpit on the lead by 3. Acceptable to Stolen Gold. And Pulpit holds up his end of the bargain. He's headed for Churchill. Pulpit takes the Toyota Bluegrass by 3 1/4.
Now, Pulpit did not have to meet Captain Bodgett in the Bluegrass Stakes because Captain Bodgett was, they thought, nominated, but the papers got lost. Captain Bodgett went to the Wood Memorial in New York. Both horses won, and so they come here both off a win. We'll see what happens.
And the interesting thing about Pulpit is he did not run as a 2-year-old, and only Apollo back in the 1800s has won the Derby without racing as a 2-year-old. So that's something very interesting about this race and about that horse. Let's go now to the paddock and Gary Gupton, see what he's doing. Gary?
Hey, Gary, Melissa, before you guys go, I want to ask you about that interview with Leah Thompson. Did she say that her husband's going to work this summer? Where do we sign up for that? I mean, that's what I want to know how you get that job. especially those of us standing out in the rain here on the first Saturday in May. We are down here in the paddock area right before we begin the WHAS11 Stakes, and my question is, why aren't all of these horses wearing number 11? I think we need to look into that. While we're doing that, though, let's talk about one of the horses going off in the Derby, Phantom on Tour. He'll break out of the number 2 gate. He'll have Jerry Bailey on his back, and he's also had a bit of a question mark on him all week. Missed a training session on Wednesday because of a little bit of an illness that the trainer, Lynn Whiting, says is now passed. So we talked to Lynn Whiting about the horse that he'll be running for the Roses this afternoon.
I don't think you should overlook this horse. This horse has got some quality. We've got about 7 or 8 horses here with a very realistic chance to win. And I think the winner's going to have to get it the old-fashioned way. He's going to have to earn it. You're not going to get lucky and come home the winner today.
Lynn, you missed a day of training this week with a little problem. Missed training this morning. Is that a concern to you?
Well, I would have liked to have had this horse on the racetrack this morning for nothing else than just take a sharp edge off of him. He's a sharp, keyed horse, an athlete that's ready to go, and you just don't want him to be too sharp on race day. You know, they're going to get tested severely today with the crowd. The paddock area will be a beehive of activity, and when they play my old Kentucky home, you know that roar that's going to come from the crowd, and it'll have these horses keyed very much so.
And Lynn Whiting says don't toss this horse out of the Derby picture. He says Lily T, the horse that won the Derby for him back earlier this decade, also had a little training glitch right before the Derby, and that horse went on to take Pat Day to the winner's circle. That's what's up here in the paddock. Let's go back to Gary and Melissa.
All right, thank you very much, Gary Gupton. I tell you, some things about the Kentucky Derby never change. I just saw a security guard pick up a gallon of orange juice. He smelled the orange juice. He tasted the orange juice, and then he gave it back to the lady and said, "Yep, it's orange juice." He's looking for liquor, of course.
It was either that, maybe it has a small amount of vodka in it. You never know.
She kept saying, "It's just orange juice."
It's a big container of orange juice. Those people are going to drink a lot of orange juice before the day is over.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more of Derby 123 in a moment. Stay with us.
Stay tuned.
Whenever there's a it says hello. Whenever there's a touch, a handshake will follow. Whenever there's a it's laughing at you. Whenever there's it's a groove that we do. With the twist of the cape or the pop at the top. It's the language we speak. It's the best that won't stop. Always Coca-Cola.
The automotive press, like no other, calls them the way they see them.
So when they call Camry the best built car in the U.S., you can take it to the bank. Of course, people here in Kentuckiana knew that already. That's why Camry outsells its nearest competition, Honda Accord, 2-to-1. With more power, more room, more standard safety features, and a lower price, Kentuckiana is smart to call Camry a better buy than Accord.
After a visit to your Toyota dealer, you'll call it a great deal, too.
In painted barns and creaky sheds, a season's progeny rises up on wobbly legs. It is a moment of doubt, but a time of promise. Soon they are racing through grassy meadows, chasing an ultimate destiny. Their instinct, their breeding, leads them inexorably toward a place of promise. In the shadow of history, the babies of springtime grow strong and are tested. And finally they are called to the swift, the durable. Only the chosen will make the final gateway to greatness. Early in their 3rd season, their brothers and sisters left in the meadow. They prance on a spring afternoon and wait for the chance. In just 2 moments, a hero is chosen. It is one chance, one dash to greatness. In that time, speed and grit and racing luck declare the champion. And finally, that solitary hero wears the symbol of glory. The roses cover a horse who came out of the mist to claim a birthright. The one out of thousands, the only one to win the Kentucky Derby.
From From Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11. Live from Churchill Downs, this is Derby 123.
And welcome back to the Derby coverage on WHAS TV, Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11. You're looking at Churchill Downs, gray skies. The temperature has now fallen to 55 degrees with a gusty wind. The horses are coming out of the track for the WHAS TV Stakes for 2-year-olds, almost untested at this point. You know, WHAS TV has been doing the Kentucky Derby since the early 1950s, Melissa. But you know, one thing is older than the Derby and our coverage. It is those mint julep glasses that
the Derby glass, the
collect.
official one.
It's amazing.
In fact, that came out in 1938. A restaurant was using it as a water tumbler, and it just evolved as the mint julep glass during the years of 41 and 42, I believe. They stopped using glass and went to aluminum. They were afraid of all the broken glass, but they were so incredibly popular that they went back to the mint julep glasses, selling a lot of those.
And now people don't break them anymore. They put them in little satchels and take them home and collect them, and you buy them in antique stores.
Right.
And they've become part of Kentuckiana lore. So when you buy your little mint julep glass today, and some people are putting them on time payments now, I understand. They're about $6.50 or $7.
Right.
So you can buy them on installment plans now when you buy a drink at the Derby. Let's go to Sky 11, and I think George Sells is up there now. And George, it's been a kind of a cloudy day. How is the flying?
Well, Gary, as far as the ride goes, we're bouncing around like popcorn balls up here. As far as the traffic goes, another part of lore of the Kentucky Derby, pretty much in close is where you're seeing most of the problems at this point. You're looking at 4th Street near Central Avenue. That's backing up in close to the track, as well as some traffic on 3rd Street. But it looks like most of the traffic has worked its way into the infield. There's also a little bit of slow going on Taylor Boulevard, getting near the Longfield parking lot in that area. But you can see the infield has pretty much filled up, and from what we've been seeing, the grandstands look to be doing the same sort of thing. We were talking earlier the fact that the weather may have actually benefited you a little bit, traffic-wise, simply because of the fact that people have been coming intermittently, those who want to wait till the last minute and those who wanted to be there for the first race. The Waterston Expressway has not been bad at all most of the afternoon. There's been some backups at the 2 exits, the Southern Parkway exit and the Taylor exit, and most of that has just been basically getting off the ramp. Once you got onto those streets, you're doing okay. If you're planning on coming out at the last minute, something to keep in mind if you do hit traffic in those areas on those 2 exits off the Waterston, you can go down to Dixie, double back around and come back up the Waterston eastbound, and if you exit in that direction on either Taylor or Southern, you're not going to have nearly the wait that you would have in the first direction. As far as the weather goes out here, we are looking all around us and seeing dark clouds in many directions here. The south and west have been popular spots all day, and these showers seem to have been coming out of nowhere. They'll just pop up and come on in, but I'll tell you what, you have actually been spared down there, because that last bit of rain you got, we actually watched a much bigger cell come right at Churchill Downs, and it looked like it split and parted for the Downs, as they say. So it looks like you're getting a little bit of a break on that expensive hat. Melissa, Gary?
All right, thank you. George Sells and the crew in Sky 11 today. I wonder if the ice-cold beer and the mint juleps will be selling as well with this 55-degree temperature, although they say they expect to sell 600,000 of those glasses. So I don't know if people dump it out.
Yeah, people just buy the glass and go home.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ken Schultz's forecast was right on the money today. He said the temperature would be falling, cloudy skies, windy conditions, and light rain. We'll be back with the WHAS TV Stakes in just a moment.
The News Channel, the largest news staff in Kentucky, informing you first from ground to air when severe weather hits. Storm Team, 10-point Doppler alert, warning you about severe weather. You need it the most experienced storm trackers, the largest news staff, the most advanced weather technology. The Storm Team, exclusively on Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11. You get the most.
Horse, Willcrest, trained by Bernie Flint, ridden by Tracy Hebert. Number 2, part of the entry, Stray Lane, Bernie Flint trained, and Brian Peck up in the irons. The 2 horse is Tommaso, Lowell Stevens is the trainer. Alan Rennie up in the irons. Number 3 is Cutie Ludi. Richard Scherer is the trainer, and Donna Barton is up in the irons. Number 4 is World Series. Michael Trevino is the trainer. Dodie Dyes is the jockey. Number 5, Jess M. Mike Smith up in the irons. Carl DeVille training. Number 6, Soldier Field. The jockey is Clovis Crane. The trainer, Linda Rice. Number 7, Favorite Trick. Patrick Byrne is your trainer. Pat Day is your rider. Number 8, Salt Lick. Craig Perret up in the irons. Ben Perkins is training Salt Lick. Number 9, Dabney Carr. Jerry Bailey is the jockey this afternoon. Robert Barbera is the trainer. Number 11, Cowboy Dan. Brett Calhoun is your trainer. Alvin Trahan is the rider. And number 12, Princess Olivia. Kevin Zeiss, the trainer. Dean Coots is up in the irons. And rounding out the field, the 13-horse Eagles Wings. Larry Demerit is the trainer. Sal Gonzalez is your rider. If we can, let's check the tote board here very quickly. The 1-horse, Willcrest at 10-1. 2-horse, Stray Lane. Actually, the part of that entry is Stray Lane. 2, Tommaso, 50-1. Cutie Ludi, the 3rd horse, 30-1. The favorite here, World Series, are close to it, 7-2 for World Series. The 5-horse, Jess M, is 2-1. The 6-horse, Soldier Field, 7-1. And I see we're getting close to the actual completion of the loading the gate. Let's be better safe than sorry. Let's pitch it over to Paul Rogers.
Crowds like this can be unnerving to any horse, much less a 2-year-old, but all of these have behaved pretty calmly. Waiting on the outside for Salt Lick to go in. Being a little stubborn, Princess Olivia, meanwhile, standing calmly and circling around behind as Dabney Carr and Cowboy Dan. Now Salt Lick goes into the starting gate. 5/8 of a mile, the distance in the WHAS TV Stakes. On the outside, Dabney Carr comes in, then Cowboy Dan from the extreme outside post position. And they only have a little over 1/8 of a mile to get squared away for the turn. And in a sprint, when you're coming from 12 or 13 wide, that can cause a problem. Somebody, I think, was misbehaving a little bit who was already in, and that's why they haven't yet taken Cowboy Dan in. A tractor who is parked, the tractor that pulls the starting gate, has my view partially blocked. It's in that vicinity, a horse that is giving him a little bit of trouble. They're still tending to that horse there in the middle, and now here comes Cowboy Dan. And we're ready to go for the WHAS TV Stakes, and they're off. And quickly for the lead, Cutie Ludi for the outside, Stray Lane from the extreme outside, Soldier Field, and Favorite Trick. Then also up out wide as Dabney Carr, then Salt Lick and Cowboy Dan. They head into the turn. Cutie Ludi has a close lead, but pushing on the outside now, Soldier Field puts a neck in front of Cutie Ludi with Favorite Trick in 3rd. Racing in 4th is Cowboy Dan. Dabney Carr is 5th. Willcrest is 6th, and from the outside, moving by Willcrest and moving pretty quickly, is Eagles Wings. They come to the top of the stretch, and on the outside, Cowboy Dan. On the inside, Favorite Trick with Soldier Field. Those 3 are together. Now Cowboy Dan just barely pushes out. Coming back is Favorite Trick on the inside. Favorite Trick and Cowboy Dan together with Soldier Field 3rd. 1/8 of a mile to go. Cowboy Dan and Favorite Trick, those two still battling right together. Now Favorite Trick pushes ahead as we near the wire. Looks like it's going to be Favorite Trick to take it. We come to the finish line. Favorite Trick wins it by half length over Cowboy Dan. Soldier Field was 3rd. Dabney Carr was 4th. And then close among Jess M, Salt Lick, and Cutie Ludi after that. The time of the race was 58 and 3/5 seconds for the WHAS TV Stakes.
And there you have the unofficial winner of the WHAS TV Stakes, Favorite Trick, with Pat Day in the saddle. Favorite Trick was trained by Patrick Byrne. We'll be back with more of Derby 123, including the presentation of the trophy for the WHAS TV Stakes for 2-year-olds, coming up next.
Before
Before you fill your weekend agenda, check in with Live Saturday Morning.
I'm Ann Doyle.
And hello, I'm Doug Prophet.
Your first news.
So our start for Saturday.
Your weekend storm team forecast.
Before you begin planning.
And Fred Wishy, the weekend gardener.
That's coming
Start
up.
your weekend on the right foot. Live Saturday morning. WHAS 11. We are Kentuckiana's News Channel.
Let's go up to Jeff Lifson. Jeff, this is always a bit of a crapshoot. These are relatively very young horses, and you never know what's going to happen.
I never want to be near the starting gate when this happens, quite frankly. Let's take a look at the stretch drive as they come into the final stretch. I want you to take a look at the eventual first and second horses. There's Cowboy Dan right there. He takes second in this race. Pat Day on the inside, this horse with the favorite Trick. And they're both switching their whips. Actually, they had switched their whips. But the difficult thing when you have 2-year-olds, babies, is you don't know if they're going to veer off. You can see how Pat Day's horse is leaning a little bit to his right. And Pat is taking very, very tough hold of him. That's because the whip is in the left hand. He's leaning away from the whip like that. Once he takes him and he knows that he has actually got this horse doing what he wants to do, you notice he's not whipping him anymore, even though it's a close race. Riding him out, he's got him straightened out, and the horse's head goes back in the right direction. And it's a nice win. I'd rather have Pat Day on a baby than, say, actually the guy who was on Cowboy Dan, Alvin Trahan. I'm sure a fine jock, but on this racetrack, you want to have Pat Day. Let's get to Gary Gupton for the presentation of the trophy for the WHAS Stakes.
Thanks very much, Jeff. The favorite son of Kentucky, Pat Day, just now getting off his mount. Favorite Trick, who is now 2 for 2 in career starts, picks up the win here on the WHAS Stakes, a 58-second clip around the track here this afternoon. We're going to be introducing ourselves to some of the new ownership group here with WHAS Television. Back several months ago, A.H. Belo Corporation merged with our parent company, Providence Journal, and we're very proud to have those folks backing up our broadcasting efforts here with WHAS 11. And as you see right now, take a look here in the winner's circle. The guy that looks like Daddy Warbucks, we lovingly refer to him as that. That's Jack Clifford. He was with the Providence Journal Group. He's now part of the A.H. Belo Corporation, and they're all posing for the photographs here from the WHAS Stakes. I can give you the race results. The payoff, $16 to win on favorite Trick. Place was $740, show $480. For the number 2 finishing horse, number 11, Cowboy Dan, he paid $22.80 and $11.60. And then number 6, Soldier Field, finishing third. The payoff was $660. So right now you see Kathy Creaney is going to come over here and join us here. As see what we're doing. We're filling for time till the boss comes. And you just don't hurry the boss. The boss gets here when they darn well please. And they better make it fast because there's a derby to run here in about 2.5 hours. So hang on just a second. We can get them over here. Sure. Let's take a look at the stretch run as they're helping me fill time till the boss comes. It was a heck of a finish coming down the stretch here between favorite Trick and Cowboy Dan. You see the cavalry charge of horses in behind them. A terrific stretch duel down the drive, and as Jeff mentioned earlier, if you've got a guy on a horse trying to win at Churchill Downs, the best guy to have in the irons is Pat Day. And once again, Pat Day, who had a terrific day yesterday, continues to ride well at Churchill Downs, and of course he'll be on Crypto Star as he goes to try to win the Roses for the second time later on this afternoon. I'm joined now by Kathy Creaney, the Senior Vice President for our broadcast group of A.H. Belo. First of all, welcome to Louisville.
Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful several days. We've really enjoyed it.
Your first Derby?
Oh, well, first since college, so that's a while back.
Probably shouldn't ask about a college Derby, should we?
I don't think so. Don't want to go there.
What do you think about your impressions of WHAS being involved in the greatest day in American racing?
I think this is spectacular for the TV station and for the community, and we really want to support it for years and years to come.
Well, you obviously know about the great tradition of WHAS television. I'm sure that A.H. Belo is very proud to have us as part of the group.
We're very proud about a lot of things about your TV station. Very proud of the things you do in the community.
Kathy Creaney, thanks so much for joining us here live. Let's toss it back to Gary and Melissa.
Thank you very much, Gary Gupton, and a very nice job of filling in till the boss came over.
That's right.
You have to be flexible in television sometimes, and Gary did an excellent job there. Well, let's go to Donna Lacey, our weekend news anchor, who is covering Churchill Downs for us today. Donna?
Bring in the clowns. Did somebody say clown? I wasn't trying to sing there, but look, we've got a bunch of clowns outside Churchill Downs here, and you guys really are outstanding and standing out in your field.
We do a thing about farmers, so we know how to do that.
Okay, I might get you to do that a little later. Why are you guys all dressed as clowns?
Well, we're out here with a group called No Greater Love Ministries. We come to Kentucky Derby every year for about the last 20 years, and we're just out here trying to share the love of Jesus Christ and tell people that there's hope.
Why clown outfits?
Well, we found that clown is pretty effective. People love a clown. And so we have a lot of fun doing clowning, therefore. And, you know, we're having a good time. We want to know people to know that Jesus Christ is fun, that this isn't boring.
So I guess you won't be betting on the horse races.
Probably not. Yeah, I don't have that much money to lose.
What about
I'm too young. So I can't bet until I'm like over the hill.
Yeah.
And even then I wouldn't bet.
Well, thank you guys. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You definitely had a bright and shiny spot. Thank you. I will take one of those. You had a bright and shiny spot. Thank you. Boy, you see everything outside the Downs on Churchill on Derby Day, including the clowns of all ages.
All ages.
This is Donna Lacey for Derby 123.
Donna Lacey looking great in her
Boy,
blue. And
doesn't she? She looks
she
smashing.
certainly does. Great hat and two smiling faces there, one on her little sticker and one on her face, looking great. And a lot of clowns here at Churchill Downs, not all of them dressed up to look like clowns, however. A lot of them in the infield. A lot have been streaming in here by us next to the Kentucky Derby Museum, and I don't think they care that it's cold, that it's going to rain. They're going to have a good time anyway.
Still coming in, having their coolers checked, and of course there's still quite a wait until Derby 123. We'll bring you all the action this afternoon right here on Kentuckiana's News Channel, and we'll be right back.
First turn. How's the ride this morning?
Got some incredible
We've got you covered from every angle.
Gonna watch the weather.
Smooth sailing for the folks.
Sky 11 with rock steady power cam.
Beautiful pictures with our power cam.
Run for the roses.
It's home stretch time. Take a front row seat. The run for the roses is just hours away on Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11. We're on.
A great place to have a party. Knock, knock. Can I come in? All right. These people know how to watch the Derby. Get a load of this. There's a TV. Hey, there I am. Hi, everybody. Yeah. Now, these people have been through it all. See this? This is $1 from the flood. Right. This is a much happier occasion to be meeting Donna and Norman Schmitz, who own this lovely boat we're on. And how's it going today? You moved the party inside.
Right. We had a party scheduled to be up by the riverfront, and it got washed out and blown away, so we just moved back down here.
They know how to party here in Jeffersonville, and they even know how to have a jockey. Look at this. Can you explain this to us, Don?
Well, this doesn't belong to me, but it's part of our decorations. One of the other girls brought it over.
Horse number 13 is what they're betting on in this place, right? All right. Everybody want to wave? They do know how to celebrate the Derby here, and for anybody who's at home right now and your Derby party is on, they're all having a Derby party tomorrow when it's nice out.
There we go.
Up outside about what time?
Oh, probably about 3 o'clock, 4, something like that.
I don't know if I was supposed to invite everybody, but hey, we're having a good time here in the marina in Jeffersonville, and everybody is happy Derby Day, right?
Can I say hi to Mima?
Hi, Mima. For Derby 123, I'm Ann Doyle.
Thank you very much, Ann.
We're going.
Yeah.
We're going to the party. Nice day.
4:35, we'll see you there.
We'll be there.
Now keep in mind that they're on a boat and they're drier and warmer than we are. So that says something for the conditions out here at the track.
Let's go to Kenny Rice now for the rundown on the fourth race coming up. That's the Churchill Downs. Kenny?
Thanks very much, Gary. As usual, a strong field for this, the 63rd running of the Grade 3 Churchill Downs. 4-year-olds and up. We take a look at the odds. The defending champ is back.
I want to see on Derby Day. Hey, you've got a good seat here. What have you seen so far?
I've seen all kinds of people walk up and down Central Avenue, coming and going.
lot of people in shorts that I'm really feeling sorry for at this point.
What's the craziest outfit you've seen?
Well, we've seen some pretty neat ones. They've had rain ponchos and hats with flowers and
Little bit of everything from up here, right. You won't believe the address, 911 Central Avenue. Now, who would have a place like this? Here's the owner right here. We're going to talk to you. Every Derby year, you really see it all, don't you? From right here on Central Avenue.
Stephanie, you just don't believe what you can see out here. Every year it gets bigger and better. If the weather just clears out a little bit for us today, it'll even be nicer.
Hey, but you don't get to see the horses from here. I mean, you do get to see the twin spires. There goes my hat.
You cannot see the horses, but you can hear the races being called.
Oh, well, that's good enough, I guess. So you can still make a bet, huh?
Obviously, the races are being played live on WHAS11, aren't they?
That's right. Okay, so everybody has a Derby outfit, and I'm going to have to show mine. I got my hat, put my jacket on. I've got my thermals on underneath. I was listening to the weather, and also my Derby shoes. 23. I'm Stephanie Collins.
And she is one smart lady. I'm telling you, long underwear would feel very nice
I
today.
want to tell you, when you take her outfit into account, the lovely hat that Ann Doyle had on,
Yes.
the beautiful hat that Donna Lacey had on, and of course your resplendent orange outfit and my orange tie.
Yeah.
I think we've done pretty well here today. This is dressing for Derby is a lot of fun, and I think we all approach it with kind of a lighthearted spirit. But when you told me that you bought an orange outfit,
Right,
yeah,
right.
I had chosen another tie, but I happened to pass this orange tie one day in the store, and I thought, why not? So here we are, folks. We're matching today. We don't plan stuff like this all the time, but
we
but
do
it worked
joke
today.
that this is kind of like dressing for the prom, you know? How the boutonniere and the corsage always had to match every year. And so that's kind of what Derby is. Although we hate it when we have to wear coats, but eventually you have to get practical out here when you've got this kind of wind and this kind of rain and these temperatures.
I think I see a lady in an orange poncho. We could bring her over as a third. Well, Derby 123 continues in spite of the gray skies and the wind that's blowing through the Derby Museum right now. As you can see, people trying to gather themselves under some sort of cover in the infield. This is an extraordinarily cold and windy day for this time of year in May. This happens once in a while on Derby Day, but we go ahead nonetheless, and we will this afternoon as we approach Derby 123, a terrific race. 13 horses waiting in those green-covered barns across the Churchill Downs track, and history awaits here this afternoon at Churchill Downs, the historic racetrack. Back with more of Kentucky and His News Channel's live coverage in a moment.
News Channel, WHAS11.
WHAS11. This is who we are. Gary Gupta.
Tonight's big game just ended. You're not going to believe it.
We haven't had a Derby favorite to win.
Brad New.
Team that hit only has another title.
And Sean Madden. In local sports, there is a difference. WHAS11. We are Kentuckiana's News.
Yesterday, they had 92,000 for the Oaks, and here you go, some of these great camera angles we're bringing you. We have 13 cameras all over the place, and I'll tell you what, I've never seen so many ways to keep warm, but yet still people walked in here with shorts today. Welcome back to our coverage from the Derby Museum. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Jean West here with you, and as you can tell, we've moved a little bit.
We move every time
out
they come
of the
back
elements, and we're a little warmer. Barry Irwin is among a lot of those people who are streaming in here, and we understand that he is in the infield tunnel. Barry?
It's kind of dark down here. We're in a tunnel underneath the backside of the Churchill Downs racetrack. People coming in with their coolers and so on. But they get entertained when they come in this way because of the man right over here. It's Chuck Rourke. He's come all the way from Terre Haute, Indiana to be here today and play saxophone for the folks who are coming into the track. Hi, Chuck. How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Okay, very well. Is this any way for a musician to make a living?
It's a great way for a musician to make a living, actually.
How long have you been doing this kind of thing?
For about 2 years now.
Now, is this your preferred spot here under the backside, under the back stretch?
Yeah, I like the acoustics down here. Yeah. There's a nice echo effect down here.
You get such a lonely sound with that sax.
A lonely sound?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know, it's just kind of romantic down here with these crowds going by.
Yeah.
What can a musician expect to make, if I may ask such a personal question?
No, you may not ask such a personal
very
question.
good. The IRS is watching. He doesn't make any money. But maybe you can see here, he does take tips. And folks who come by, they can request songs. Presumably they can request songs. What's your most requested number down here?
My Old Kentucky Home.
We've also heard Amazing Grace. We've heard the Hallelujah, Glory, Glory, Hallelujah, the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Would you mind playing one more for us while we say goodbye? Sure. All right, Chuck Rourke, Terre Haute, Indiana's gift to the music world here under the racetrack at Churchill Downs. Be strong. I'm Barry Burnson for Derby 123.
What I want to know is how long's Barry been in that tunnel? He knew every tune
I know,
the guy's been playing.
And he's getting all those people inspired who are going through that tunnel into the infield. And I got to tell you, you need inspiration when you're in the infield, as Terry Miners can tell you.
A lot of fancy derby hats all around Churchill Downs today, of course. That one you're looking at is right out of the movie The Untouchables, I think, or one of those Bing Crosby deals from years gone back. Boo, 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 boo. Me, I opted for cowboy today just to keep the rain off. I love it when those cowboys are out there and the rain pours and it just pours off here and then lands on someone else. I found another guy up the same alley here, Troy Million. How are you, Troy?
Just fine, thanks.
So the man wearing this shirt is a cowboy. Don't panic, keep cool, lie flat on your back, do everything nice. Okay, Troy, that's a nice nice directive.
Thank you.
If it said federal government on there, somebody might actually take you up on it. You're from Peoria, Illinois.
Yes.
Are there any cowboys in Peoria?
Just a couple. One of a chosen few.
Yeah. So
Dime breed.
Are you like an original Texan and you're trying to move Texas to the people?
Oklahoma, actually.
Oh, that was a mistake, wasn't it? Do guys in Oklahoma go over the border and beat up Texas guys back and forth?
Yes, frequently.
It's been known to happen.
Way too often.
Hey, I know you must like country music since you have your cowboy hat on. Did you see who's over here? I think it's Alan Jackson. Come on over here. Let's see if it is. You know, they see all the celebrities up there where the millionaires are, but are you Alan Jackson?
No, not even close.
Oh, okay. What's your name? I'm sorry.
It's Ken.
Ken, you do look like this country star, don't you?
I've been told that a couple times, yeah.
Do you ever sign autographs?
No, I don't.
Well, you ought to learn how to do that sort of thing. You know, you could take advantage of it. Before you know it, you could have a tour bus and groupies and everything else, all right?
That'd be nice. At least it'd be dry.
All right, well, let's sing one real fast for him. Way down yonder by the Chattahoochee. Don't you sing?
I don't want to ruin it.
You don't want to ruin the song for us? All right, well, I'll have you do a whole mini Pearl medley later this afternoon and have a couple more mint juleps, all right? With the Cowboys in the infield, I'm Terry Miners for Derby 123.
All right, and there's a shot at the infield now. Nothing stopped these folks from having fun. Look at that. Raincoats, garbage bags, whatever they can find.
Yeah, we've seen them. Saw them this morning at 8 o'clock, Gene carrying blankets in, mattresses, benches, and here's a man in
tents.
shorts.
They put up their tents here.
Shorts.
And I didn't even think there's a heater blowing
No,
there. That's pretty
no.
good.
You see the strong winds. We are convinced that this is going to be a wild and woolly derby because that is what the weather is doing to us here at Churchill Downs. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back. And coming up, we'll talk to you about some other prep races, the Arkansas Derby, as well as look at the latest odds for the next race when we return.
Live from the Winner's Circle, a 90-minute party to toast the winner of the Kentucky Derby, plus a preview of the Preakness party to come. Check out the bonuses.
The outer limits? Whoa, you can't see anything.
Me and Mom got slimed big time.
Let's face it, if our kids call the shots, all we do is go to Paramount's Kings Island.
Dad was definitely gonna hurl. Totally discombobulated.
So we say, okay.
It was fun.
And then it hits me.
Ah!
Whoa. We're not just doing this all for the kids. We're doing it all with the kids. The whole family, the whole day.
We got it.
point. When choosing a way to communicate, you want to feel confident your message will get through. Sprint PCS. Wireless service with fewer system busy signals and fewer dropped calls. The replacement for cellular is here.
Okay, what do you call a refined, re-engineered new model that costs less than the old model?
People here in Kentuckiana would know not to call it a Ford Taurus. They call it the better-than-ever Camry built right here in Kentucky, and they're switching to Camry in record numbers. No wonder, with more room, more power, more standard safety features, and a lower price, Kentuckiana is right to call Camry a way better buy than Taurus. Way better.
And you'll call it one other thing, a great deal. Your Toyota dealer has one for you.
We're back here live at Churchill Downs. We're at the Kentucky Derby Museum, where there is a private party that goes on here for their members, and they're really glad to be members today, I'm sure, because they are warm and dry and they're being fed very well here.
All under some sturdy tents. Even when those big gusts of wind hit the tents, they all stay nice and safe inside.
So that might be a cue. You might think about becoming a member for next year.
Become an honorary member of the museum. You know, it's a long road here to the Kentucky Derby. There are several prep races along the way, and we want to talk to you for a little moment about the 1997 Arkansas Derby. Roughly halfway through that race in the Arkansas Derby, Crypto Star, who's a big name in this year's Derby, was ahead of only 2 horses. He needed to close, and he needed to close fast, and that's exactly what he did, and we're going to pick it up right now in the stretch run.
And down the stretch they come. Phantom on Tour looks like he's got a good shot here, but here's a couple of late closers by Pacific Bounty on the extreme outside. And also it looks like, who is that? That's Crypto Star coming out of nowhere. And Crypto Star is going to get up to win by a half length.
Well, what do you know? Is it a harbinger of things to come? Crypto Star looked awfully good there in the stretch run of the Arkansas Derby just this year.
Well, now, not all of the excitement on Derby Day is trackside. Our sports director, Gary Gupton, is where it all begins in the paddock. Gary?
Hi, I'm here with Sean Madden, our new sports guy. Let me introduce you to all the folks here in Kentuckiana. Sean, originally out of Washington. Your first look at the Kentucky Derby, what do you think?
It's amazing. I couldn't believe all the people here just to see a race that lasts 2 minutes.
All right, let me thanks, Sean, by the way, for joining us. Let me show you the odds of today's 4th races are getting ready to take off. Criolito taking off out of the number 1 gate, now listed at 10-1. High Stakes Player at 5-1 with Corey Nakatani. Elamonte and Jerry Bailey now listed at 9-1. You want to bet on Sunshine? I bet we don't get much today. He is now going off at 8-1 with Willie Martinez. Then it's Frisco View at 8-5. Longshot is full retail, 45-1. Then we've got Diligence, the horse that finished 9th in the 96 Derby. That's George Steinbrenner's Diligence, now going off at 9-1. Top Account is listed at 9-2. And then Victor Cooley, Eddie Martin will be in the saddle. Victor Cooley now listed at 9-1. One of the horses that's going to get a lot of play could well be the Derby favorite by the time we get ready to go racing today in the big race. The Derby is a horse called Captain Bodgett, a horse who has absolutely had a terrific spring. Nothing has gone wrong with this horse. Let's hear what Gary Capuano, the trainer of Captain Bodgett, had to say this morning. What's your first Derby like for you, Gary? What are your emotions right now?
Well, it's really hard to describe. I mean, it's a great feeling to be here, and for everything to be going as smooth as it has. I think that's the big key here, because it's keeping me nice and relaxed, and I'm ready. I'm not even nervous. Slept good last night, so it's no problem for me.
Does it feel like just another race to you?
In a way, it does, but I know it's not just another race. I mean, this might be the biggest race of my life, which it is the biggest race of my life so far, and we're just. It's kind of soaking in. It probably won't hit me till next week, actually, when it's all over. At the top of the stretch, we'll have an idea if he's going to be there or not, just on where he's at and how he's running at the time. I mean, if he's catching them and getting to them, he's going to be tough right there by the wire. And let's just hope that he's hitting his gears by then.
If Gary Capuano wins the Derby at the age of 33, you're talking about a guy whose career will change forevermore. his will. We'll have more on what's going on in the paddock later in the day. Let's go back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Gary. What do you think of Bet on Sunshine? Gene, you think it's a sure bet today?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
The Holloway family's from Middletown, well known here in town, and the horse has done well, I understand, but we've been hit by too much rain out here today.
By far outnumbered the Sunshine. Okay, we're going to be here with you all day long. We're going to show you the exclusive running of the 123rd Kentucky Derby right here on WHAS 11. Don't go anywhere. If you don't want to get out in the wind and rain and comb, don't. Stay home. Watch us live here on TV. We'll be back with you in a moment.
Here's what's coming up Monday on your official Kentucky Derby station, WHAS 11. Doug Prophet registers at local hotels with an infrared camera, a forensics expert, and scientific research on his side. Know what's lying next to you in bed. The Prophet Report, Under the Covers, Monday night at 11 on WHAS 11.
Our job is to make sure everyone in America knows the best place to buy sporting goods. And we won't rest until they do.
Jumbo Sports, everybody!
It's not whether you win or lose, it's the stuff you use.
You on the bike, Jumbo Sports!
The word is spreading. Louisville Sports and Rec has always been big on sports, but we just got even bigger. Now we're Jumbo Sports. From hockey to hunting, football to fishing. If it's got anything at all to do with sports, you'll find it at Jumbo Sports.
Forward to Jumbo Sports!
What makes you comfortable? Is it as simple as the twist of a thermostat? Or is it the peace of mind that comes with getting your money's worth? At LG&E, we know that it's both. And that's why you feel the benefits of one of the lowest energy costs in the country. A fact that brings more than a little comfort to a whole lot of people. LG&E, our energies go to serving you.
It now appears that Shaq is suffering from a neck injury.
Of course we're concerned. That's one valuable neck.
Shaq is suffering from taco neck syndrome, TNS. It's caused by his craving for delicious Taco Bell tacos. And he's getting worse with every neck-bending bite.
There's nothing funny about TNS.
It's not natural.
Get some more of those tacos.
Now buy the Border Select Combo #2 and race home with the Pegasus pin for $1.49, only at Taco Bell.
I decided to try this hot new color that all the magazines are raving about. I go to Rite Aid and pick it up. Ugh, it's horrible. Another one to add to the makeup junk drawer, right? Wrong. Rite Aid's got this new cosmetics money-back guarantee, and it's risk-free. You don't like it? Rite Aid gives you your money back. We all make mistakes buying cosmetics, but now we don't have to pay for them.
The Rite Aid Cosmetics money-back guarantee. For your life, Rite Aid's got it. Starstruck, Tuesday at 7:30 on WHAS 11.
The dream lives just before sunrise. Like most of its kind, this one comes a-borning in the middle of the night. As mist clings to the bluegrass and the quiet fence rows preside over darkened hillsides, new life raises its fragile head. In painted barns and creaky sheds.
Come on outside, everybody! Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the Navy. How are you? Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. What's your name? How are you, Tiffany George? This is the Iroquois High School Navy ROTC, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Very nice. All right, well, let's show everybody on camera here so they can do it. Let's do the drills. Hey, how are you? What's your name, sir?
Jarvis Bibb, sir.
Jarvis, what are you learning in the junior ROTC?
Well, I have how to learn leadership, how to take discipline, responsibility too.
Okay, and since these were Navy Thunder Pots, I guess these things will float, won't they? These cans behind you here? That was very impressive. All right, can we do it all together? In the Navy, you can serve your fellow man in the Navy. I think that's how the song goes. That's the official theme song of the Navy ROTC. Well, have a good Derby there, guys. And for Derby 123, I'm Terry Miners. I think Terry's confused the village people with the Navy.
I think he needs to keep his job in radio, don't you?
Don't forget about our lineup of programming. It's coming right up throughout the day, so stick right with WHAS at 4:30. You can only see it right here, ABC's live coverage of the Kentucky Derby, 123 years of history here, and you'll see it along with the nation at 4:30. At 6 o'clock, WHAS 11 brings you our 6 o'clock news right here from the track. And then at 6:30, it's a special live edition of Louisville Tonight Live right here from the Winner's Circle. It's always a fun party to watch, and that's coming up at 6:30.
All right, let's go up on the roof now where Jeff Lipson is standing there braving the winds and the rains. He's going to give us a preview of the fourth race and look at the Derby odds. Jeff?
All right, thanks very much, Gene and Doug. This is the Churchill Downs. This is a sprint of 7 furlongs on the dirt. It's for some of the older horses, and this is a star-studded field. We've got a former Derby horse, Diligence, in this field, as well as some Derby trainers who are getting some early work this afternoon, Derby 123. Let's take a look at the post parade if we can here. Creolito is the number 1 horse, trained by Bob Baffert. Gary Stevens is the rider. Number 2, High Stakes Player. This is Bob Baffert's other horse. Corey Nakatani up in the irons. Number 3 is El Amante. Bill Mott is your trainer. Jerry Bailey is the jockey. Number 4 is Bet on Sunshine. Paul McGee, a local trainer, and Willie Martinez teaming up on that one. Number 5 is Frisco View. Frankie Brothers will have Pulpit today, and Shane Sellers will be on him as well. Number 6, Full Retail. That's Tony D'Amico, Robert DeCensi, and I see they are galloping out of our sight here. Diligence is the 7 horse. The 8 horse is Top Account and Victor Cooley. Top Account is your 8 horse, Neil Howard and Pat Day teaming up, and number 9, Victor Cooley, is Mark Frostad and Eddie Martin Jr. They move quickly through the picture, and we'll move quickly to the odds board, giving you a preview of this terrifically loaded race. Donnie Richardson has overdone himself in getting this field to the post today. Creolito, this was Bob Baffert's beer money horse. That's what he called him last year. He won this race last year. He is coming off a long layoff, and the crowd kind of senses that. They're giving him 12-1 odds. High Stakes Player could be Bob Baffert's beer money horse this year. He's awfully high on this horse. He will be wearing the Mike Pegram colors, which is McDonald's colors. Mike Pegram is a McDonald's franchiser in the Seattle area. Bob Baffert and Corey Nakatani teaming up. He's at 9-2, High Stakes Player. Number 3 is El Amante. This is a horse that was on the Derby Trail last year, but did not quite get there. Instead, went to some of the lesser races, targeted and won the Illinois Derby. Bill Mott and Jerry Bailey teaming up on this horse. The number 3 horse is at 9-1. Number 4, Bet on Sunshine. He was a winner. He was a winner last year this weekend. Paul McGee is a local trainer who seems to gear him up, get him ready for Derby Day. This horse is a bit of a closer, something to consider today, given the fact that closers have not necessarily been doing too terribly well. Paul McGee and Willie Martinez on Bet on Sunshine at 10-1. Number 5 is the favorite at 3-2. That's Frisco View. Frankie Brothers and Shane Sellers will team up again later on today on the very talented Pulpit. But now they've got Frisco View, a Mount Livermore colt who has been doing rather well. He's taking a little bit of a layoff, but he has been very hot in Florida this year, 3 wins down there. And he, number 5, is at 3-2, is now actually at 7-5. Full Retail is your 6 horse. Full Retail is going off at 60-1, the long shot in the field. Diligence was in the Derby last year. This is a Kinsman stud colt. Diligence is trained by Nick Zito and Mike Smith and owned by George Steinbrenner. He's faced the best, but he's been kind of disappointing in his one start this year. Diligence is going off the 7 horse at 9-1. The 8 horse is Top Account. This is Will Farish's horse, and Neil Howard, of course, trains him, the private trainer for Will Farish, the chairman of the board here at Churchill Downs. Pat Day up in the irons. You'll be able to pick this horse out, no problem. Green with gold chevrons, the classic Sergeant chevrons for Top Account, the 8 horse, who is now at 5-1. The betting public likes him. The 9th horse is Victor Cooley. He's coming off a close win against some great competition at Keeneland. He likes off tracks. Unfortunately for him, this track is lightning quick today. Victor Cooley is going off at 8-1. So that's the field set for the Churchill Downs. This is a grade 3 sprint on the dirt, 6 furlongs. It's a loaded field. We do have last year's Churchill Downs sprint winner, However, he has been having sort of an off year up to this point, a 6th, a 12th, and the 3rd, actually even before the year started, and has not raced at all this year. I see that they're beginning to load in the gate, and with that, we will turn it over to Paul Rogers.
So everyone coming in for the Churchill Downs, 7/8 of a mile. Victor Cooley from the outside waiting to come in. Victor Cooley, a neck winner in the Commonwealth Breeders' Cup at Keeneland back on April the 13th. Victor Cooley, the last to be loaded. No, he's not in. I now can see him through the starting gate. Back behind now, coming into his spot. And he's in. We're ready. And they're off in the Churchill Downs. And breaking for the lead quickly, as expected, is Frisco View. Will anybody push him? Well, on the outside, we've got Full Retail there close to him. Also up from the outside is Diligence. And down then, just up behind that, toward the inside, is Creolito, last year's winner. Then comes High Stakes Player, and to the outside is Victor Cooley. It's a gap of about 3 lengths to Bet on Sunshine. And the trailer, as you would expect, is Top Account, and he's really not that far back. First quarter, 22 2/5 seconds, and they head into the turn with Frisco View leading, but being closely challenged by both Full Retail and Diligence. Now High Stakes Player moves up. Along the rail, Creolito is still holding his spot. Victor Cooley now heads that second group as he moves into 4th. Bet on Sunshine is next. Then comes High Stakes Player, and Top Account hasn't really shifted into gear yet. He still trails the field. Well bunched with 3 of them together as they turn to the top of the stretch. On the outside, Diligence. On the inside, Creolito, and in between those two is Full Retail. Those 3 continue to battle down the stretch, and now here comes Victor Cooley charging on the outside. Diligence now has the lead with an 1/8 of a mile to go. He was 9th in last year's Kentucky Derby, but he seems to like this sprint. It's Diligence with the lead, being challenged by Victor Cooley. Diligence with Victor Cooley coming after him. Bet on Sunshine is gaining. We come to the wire, and it is Diligence wins it by 3/4 of a length over Victor Cooley. I think Creolito may have gotten 3rd over Bet on Sunshine. They were right together, and Top Account was also close in that group. 1:22 1/5 is the time for the Churchill Downs.
Gene's sitting here saying, I bet that horse last year.
I bet it this year. I bet on him last year because he was gray. I remember that. Diligence, the unofficial winner of the 4th race of the day.
Yeah, the Churchill Downs Grade 3 race. Diligence was placed 9th in last year's Kentucky Derby. He is trained by Nick Zito, a name we certainly know, and he is owned by George Steinbrenner. 2 people, of course, who have a big stake in this year's Derby.
Indeed. All right, we're going to take a break and come right back here with you with the official analysis of this race. We'll be back in a moment.
Post time for the first
Derby 123. The clock is running on WHAS 11. You won't miss a second.
We have had some showers out there from the rooftop. Let's take a look at the post parade. The terrace end.
We've got you covered from start to finish.
High above the Downs.
You can take a look around.
Sky 11 with Rocksteady Power
We'll
Cam.
get started to fill it down there.
Where you want to come. We go to the post at around 5:30.
Your winning ticket is right here. The Run for the Roses is just hours away on Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11. Down the stretch we come. Be the first to know from the WHAS 11 Storm Team.
Buying a basket.